what happened on Inferno, Chad. If you remember, they had 8-1 scoreline. They got the last 3 rounds, and it went 8-4. They pulled it back and then won the game. Could they replicate those scenes? The money's certainly not in the same position. If you remember, it was FaZe that after losing their massive lead, at this point, they didn't have any reserve cash. This is a very different story. They actually have a ton of money here, so it's not like Na'Vi have actually broken them down at any point. They still have so much to do, but at least a convincing round is going to lead them to a full buy here. They're going to have everything they need to show us whether they have got a set piece available, some fakes going on. We see nothing towards middle, nothing towards B, just defaults into contact plays today. It's really not working out for them.
Flamey's doing the scaffold smoke again, so that's going to come on in. Boomich over towards B to deal with the push. Oh, he's going aggressive, actually. So this is not a quick approach from Na'Vi, which just gave them a little bit of success. They're just limping out across the ramp, and Boomich he wants a kill. He's just going to push straight on up.
Stay here, I think. I'd like to sit in this corner. This is a great position to be in. In terms of just sound cues and getting intel, that's huge.
And it means that his teammates can rotate across, right? They need to be a little bit safe, but they could also bait for him that they're still at a distance. Bimas is probably not too aware that somebody can be so up close and personal right now. And as kills are going on across the rest of the map, he might even start thinking to rotate.
Let's have a look then, Chad. It's going to be coldzera defending middle, but Boomich does make himself known. It's not worked out, though. A couple of kills come in for FaZe. coldzera, the significant damage towards Flamey. Not quite enough as Brokey rattles off short with the AWP. He won't be finding the kill, but Flamey, he answers back. That could be the bomb plant here. It certainly is. Simple. It's happening again, Chad. These last 3 rounds always seem to fall apart for FaZe. Rain will be left in a 3 versus 1. He will get Flamey, no problem, but still. The final boss. Simple, waiting the other side. Not just a flashbang, but the flashbang is actually very effective here. Rain can do this. Great shot, 1 versus 1. Perfected towards the B stairs. He's out of position. He's fluffed it. He's absolutely fluffed it there. Rain with a huge clutch, and he's gifted that final kill. Perfected doesn't even play with the C4.
Yeah, he was so committed at that point. With that kind of plant, that's what we're calling the default plant now. You can sit back on towards the stairs and you can jiggle left and right and potentially set yourself up for a duel, force that CT to have to come to you. He was just out in the open.
I think what his mindset is there, being the rookie, and he's getting calls from Simple that flash, I mean, back up. He's trying to be part of the equation there and have the quick trade. But ultimately, he should be playing for the round there, right? He's got such a strong position, like at the late stages as well. There'll be no smoke for Rain. There'll be no utility. Just playing off that bomb, jiggling it. I feel like that was the correct call, but he's one of the younger players, and he gets bested in a great 3 versus 1 for Rain. He's been in fantastic form this week. And we get into the final round of this first half, 9-2. Na'Vi need this. They've got enough for AK-47s, the AWP for Simple as well. Bear in mind, no helmet makes him very vulnerable, but it will be electronic to open things up. This time towards middle.
That was actually great spacing, right? They had 2 individuals go up the ladder silently there and 1 creep through middle. And the timing on that...
This is the setup. This is the Molotov smoke setup from Caddy. Sorry.
Or did it land? It might be burning a little bit low there. It didn't look like it completely landed on top. So if they were to throw the smoke, it may have fluffed it. So Na'Vi, the Molly, it wasn't great, but they still have a chance here as they want to dance on back through middle. Nico wants to push forward. He has to deal with electronic. He saw the leg. That's information, but it's gone both ways.
So... FaZe with just a couple of smokes here. A 5-4 in favor of Na'Vi. The last round should have been there as a 3-on-1. Didn't even play with a bomb there at all. But still, going towards B now. Flamey trying to get his early information. You can see Bimas. He is very committed to this one. He's being baited in by Brokey as well. This should be perfect. Bimas should be on for a couple. They're going to have no idea. He's there. Perfecto. Knife out. It's going to cost him his life. And there's a couple of kills now. Simple with the orb. This is far from ideal. Running out of bullets and still with time to reload. Grabs the AK-47. Electronic will wallbang him. And now they do have time to reposition. This is looking clumsy from Na'Vi, but still their individual prowess is carrying through some of these situations. 3 kills from Electronic on for the ace, but I can see one player sneaking in towards sandbags. You're never checking this, Chad. You're never checking this in a million years.
Not this late either. You wouldn't be expecting somebody here.
There's no
Molotov in play. The smokes are going down, and look at this. Nico steps out. The last 2 kills. That's a 10-2 half right there for FaZe Clanners. They are looking absolutely fantastic right here on Vertigo. This bit of a gambit pick from Na'Vi. It's not paying off right now. Maybe their CT side will be just as strong. Just have to wait a quick 60 seconds before we get this one back underway. But as I will do throughout today, ladies and gentlemen, MR12, max rounds 12 is what we're playing. Traditionally with Counter-Strike, you would be seeing max rounds 15. That means first to 16 to win. In our format, it is first to 13. This is something which we used to use about... I don't know what, 16, 17 years ago, back in previous iterations of Counter-Strike with different money systems, and we're just experimenting a little bit. We're in a bit of a weird place, so we're challenging the conventional wisdom of Counter-Strike, and what better way to do it here with some of the world's best.
I absolutely agree, Chad, and this second half, Doesn't look like it'll be getting very deep here, considering it is a team-centered map from the former seeing from FaZe, but still, they have given up big leads before, and I'm sure we can all recall the last couple of months. We'll get into that now, but for now, we do have force of the Kevlar, some decoys as well, chat. Now, FaZe are one of the teams that have been experimenting with the decoys flyovers. What can you really do on Vertigo, do you think? Team Spawn, you can maybe throw some decoys over at the start or towards the end of the round, maybe. Go over some, like, just baiting some stuff out. We see that on Train a lot. I think Vertigo probably lends itself towards that sort of play.
Even as simple as just masking footsteps on a map like this might be absolutely huge, right? Even if you're just able to drop them over towards the bridge position or up towards middle, the sound cues of that might be enough to mask where the T's are actually going.
They've dropped them all in T-spawn. Like, they threw them all out. I think you're absolutely dead on. They're trying to make things confusing. And it's going to be a straight-up B rush. It's going to be the first kill for Simple, but Brokey will answer back. A straight-up B rush from FaZe here. It's working out tremendously. Brokey has looked sharp today, to say the very least. Bomb down. Could be the round in itself. The CTs rotate back in, but they've got so much to do here. Nico on the backstab as well. He's towards the A side.
This is actually fantastic news for FaZe here, having somebody up so close. He can pivot off either side from the calls of his teammates. He's actually going to fight first. So Brokey, what can he get done here? With the Glock in hand, he's fighting on the left, the right, the left, the right. He doesn't know where to go, but the kills are happening around him. Brokey just had to stand tall, and he will get the final. That's 3 players staying alive right there for FaZe, and 11 rounds on the board now. Only 2 more away from taking us to map number 3. Now, Henry, those decoys right there, right? Now, just for people who might not be too familiar with why it might be more viable on a map like this as compared to, say, Inferno or Dust 2, to actually use them for the purpose of noise, because you spawn basically on top of each other, right? It's 2 different levels in this map. The footsteps can be relatively hard to identify, and if there's extra gunshots, extra noise going on, it becomes even more confusing. So I like that from FaZe, just forcing an already flustered Na'Vi to be even more so.
So bear in mind that $50 each. On maps like Train as well, you can use them to make it look like a smoke going over the top, for example. There are many different ways, and FaZe are one of the few teams still experimenting with that. They are trailblazers, I suppose, in that sense. It's not a massive part of the game, but certainly interesting. As we get to the second round, it has to be the force fight. It has to be a victory from Na'Vi, to be honest with you. Desert Eagles at MP9, barely anything else. This first kill falls against them. There will be absolutely 0 chance they recover. Grenades landing on the site. That's going to do a ton of damage, but no kills found at least. You can see they maybe detected stack there, so going to fall back FaZe and go more into a default formality. Setup here, we'll see whether this works out for them, and actually high-tailing it towards A. Considering it is through 3 grenades in the B bomb site, you wouldn't necessarily expect many people to be there. You can see how quickly they transition over. Molotov towards the sandbags, and in we go. Rains lead the way with the Mac 10.
Nobody's watching Flamey's position right now. As I say that, Cold Zero, he picks up the slack. We'll find the frag, and now onto the site they go. The kills continue to fall as Nico finds the head of Boomich. But it's just electronic up and over the top with the Deagle. Will stall out Rain's progression, but it's still 4 players alive on that A bomb site right here. And look at this. Nico taking a page out of Zipex's book. Will use the smoke to take down Simple, and that's the danger man dealt with. This shouldn't have too much more in it.
No, I think you might be right there, Chad. Perfecto will be left in a 3 versus 1. This is for map points. It's Na'Vi that picked up the first map here, but it looks like FaZe have got a locked-in second. Vertigo will be leading us to round number 15. We've got about $3,000 per player. Not really much else to talk about at this point, Chad. I think we all know they just have to buy, do their best, and see whether they can keep themselves afloat. I don't see them finding 10 rounds in a row to even make it responsibility.
Oh.
You believe him?
No, definitely not. I don't think $2,400 in the bank balance is going to get them too far. It's 5 Deagles, a bunch of utility, a diffuse kit at least, and look. Oh no, Flamey. Oh no, I'm sorry that we were on your perspective for that. So Flamey's done the classic. He's throwing the Molotov through the crane. It can be a little bit clunky.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah, certain bars it can hit, certain ones it doesn't. You have to really spend a bit of time practicing. Not just, if you see someone do it in the stream, that's great, but when you have to jump on in at home, you got to make sure you're doing it right, and Flamey wasn't. He's going to be taken out of the equation. Boomich goes down. Oh, no.
Oh, I think we might be done here, boys. It's going to be a 5 versus 3. The Deagles will do what they can, but Vertigo might have to stay in the doldrums here for Na'Vi. It hasn't really been a good showing for them whatsoever. Interesting that they even wanted to float this one, but either way, we're going to see it come to its logical conclusion now. FaZe, to be honest, they looked like the better team on Inferno that first half. It looked like they were running away with it. Fantastic effort from Na'Vi to actually take that first map. But we are going to go to a third unless something absolutely ridiculous happens right now. Perfecto does get 1. Simple to extinguish the smoke, but I feel like that's all he can do. One more frag to be found potentially, but that's going to be FaZe converting map number 2 there. We go 1-1 and we're heading to Nuke, ladies and gentlemen. Chad, it wasn't quite as entertaining as the first map, was it? We can't say that, but still we learned a lot.
Yeah, it delivered, but for a different reason, right? What I actually take away from this going forward is FaZe, even though they don't play the map, have practiced the map. And if I'm another team who looks at that and I also don't really play the map and FaZe float it and I'm thinking about picking it, maybe in the future I won't pick it against FaZe. If you're a team like Astralis or a team who plays a lot of Vertigo, then pick it, sure. But FaZe here have potentially just got a free opportunity right now to say, hey, look, we're serviceable.
That's what we were saying as well coming into the pre-game, right? We said when Vertigo first came in, the exact same thing happened. They kind of dominated the early stages of it, and at that point, no one wanted to play them on it. So another statement performance, potentially. Great scenes. Can't wait for Nuke. Hi, Frankie.
Hello. Well, that was incredibly fast, boys. And yet, I was impressed with the patience shown on the side of FaZe on that CT half. Like Nico, for example, we're seeing it right here on screen. That boost, he held that position. It must have been for like a minute. They never over-rotated, it felt like. Unlike, say, G2 when we were watching them on Inferno yesterday, it seemed like if anything was seen on one site, there was a call and literally backup would arrive straight away. Here, what really impressed me, I felt like, was FaZe were actually just letting each player live up to their individual potential. And BMAS in particular, I felt saved the day quite a few times on the B side, Chad.
Yeah, he was a safe pair of hands, right? And as a kid coming into the team, that's all you can really ask for from him. He had a couple of multi-frag moments there, and he was getting a bit done. Even on that round where he saved the AK, he dropped down and got a kill into Flamey, which helped facilitate the rush out of Na'Vi, or at least the rushed round out of Na'Vi, where FaZe were able to pick that one up with Deagles. So all in all, this is just a positive for FaZe out of this. Even though they lost map 1, it was super close. Vertigo was fantastic, and well, Nuke is number 3. This one could go anywhere.
Oh, Henry, clearly this is not Na'Vi's map yet, and we're probably not going to see them play it for a while after that. But what about FaZe? Do you think actually maybe they should add this back into their playbook?
Like Chad said coming into this one, FaZe are pretty comprehensive across the board. They're very well versed in all 7 maps. This is great to see them actually working on it a little bit more. I don't think it'll become a mainstay of theirs, but it's good to know they can have it in their back pocket. It can be floated sometimes in these sort of matchups where they know their opposition vetoes Vertigo as well. I don't think they're quite ready to take on the likes of Astralis yet, but considering some of the kind of blunders we saw, the missed smokes, etc., they still look a little bit clunky, but still certainly enough for them to be putting into their map pool and suggesting they can play it.
Well, call that one an intermission, because we knew that neither team was going to be the most confident on Vertigo, but I'm very, very glad that FaZe got the W, because it means we get to go to a 3rd map, and it means we get to go to Nuke, and I have a feeling that Na'Vi are going to return to their normal selves for this one. So we're going to take a short break while we find out about one of our charities for Gamers Without Borders, and then we'll be back afterwards for the final map.
Since 1948, Direct Relief has sent a lot of boxes to a lot of places. But it's never been about the boxes. It's about the compassion that fills them and the people who need them. It's not about the life-saving drugs and supplies inside the box. It's that people are alive because they were sent. It's not about sending boxes to all 50 states and more than 70 countries each year. It's the willingness to confront any crisis, cross any border, and work alongside local organizations to help people rebuild their lives, or just to stay healthy. It's not about the latest technologies or business trends. It's extending the benefits of innovation and the talents of businesses to people and communities that are often overlooked. It's not about the awards or ratings or headlines. It's the commitment to do whatever is necessary, to do it with respect, and to do it efficiently. For all the boxes Direct Relief sends, it's never about the boxes. It's the collective effort that delivers them and what that represents. Most of all, it's about what people get out of them. The opportunities of health, and to experience the joys and wonders of life.
I'm Sienna Miller, and I've been a global ambassador with International Medical Corps since 2009, seeing their life-saving work firsthand around the world. In such desperate times, minutes make the difference between life and death. When most others are running away, International Medical Corps rushes in. We go deep into the hardest hit and most remote areas to reach those in greatest need. Since 1984, International Medical Corps has reached tens of millions of people in over 75 countries, saving lives with a simple idea: give local people the skills and knowledge, and that investment will pay off long after the crisis has ended. More than 90% of our 7,000 staff around the world are local to the communities we serve, taking care of people inside their own communities, easing suffering and saving lives. We are International Medical Corps.
Hello, welcome back to Gamers Without Borders. We are on to map 3 of this semi-final between Na'vi and FaZe Clan. And FaZe Clan managed to bring things back quite easily, to be honest, on Vertigo just now, getting revenge for Na'vi stealing Inferno from their clutches. So we're about to go to Nuke. And myself and Chad were just chatting in the break about the addition of BMAS to FaZe, because they've played Nuke twice out of the 4 series they've completed since BMAS joined, and it seems to be that he's able to hold his own, but this is quite a complicated map to pick up for anyone, let alone a player coming to FaZe, Chad.
Yeah, I think Nuke, people need to understand, is probably the most technical in terms of knowing how to rotate and when. And that comes down, obviously, to very good communication. But that's a lot of the theory side of Counter-Strike, right? A lot of the stuff they do behind closed doors, where they're actually able to work as a team and discuss these options and decisions they're going to make before they get into the server. Now, for a young kid like BMAS to come in, he's got the fantastic aim. Maybe Yanko will tell him where he needs to be and when. Or if he's taking Olof's position, there might not be too much need for that. But on the T side, that's where it's going to be a lot more difficult for him. So we do have a knife round on the third map. If FaZe can start on the CT side, I feel like they can close this out.
I know you like
easily.
a knife, Chad.
I love a good knife. Yeah, you call that a knife, Henry? This is a knife. I don't think I could ever do any more Australian cliches if I ever tried. But yeah, BMAS is the one I'm keeping my eyes on, just because he's the newest, and Nuke is a very technical map.
Do you need to buy a knife to be good at Counter-Strike?
I think so. I feel like if you get like a pink knife as well, that's my favorite sort of setup. I have pink gloves, a pink knife, a pink gun. Everything's pink in my inventory. I feel like it increases my skill by at least 2%. So I would recommend that to everyone at home.
Flusher has said to me previously that he was only going to ever equip a knife when he opened one. So Flusher from Fnatic is a little bit of a purist in the sense of he's not going to go out there and buy it. He's going to wait until it comes to him through the randomness of Gabe's, I guess.
Might be waiting a while. Takes a while.
He could be. Plus, you got to open a lot of cases. Look how many Bardolphs opened. You know, there's a lot of cases to be opened out there. So I'm going to go with no, Frankie. You don't need any skins to be better at Counter-Strike.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that because I only buy stickers, and most of the stickers I bought have got Lecro's name on them recently. So
Poor Lecro.
Poor Lecro, yeah, I bought a Deagle, called it Lecro's Bay, and then put 4 stickers of Lecro on because I really like Lecro and I miss him already. I miss him already. Na'Vi, though, on Nuke, and a team that has also got good form. To be honest, I feel like this is going to be the closest map of all, just because these are two teams that are very confident on it. However, Na'Vi's confidence clearly being knocked recently, and in the interview I did with Flame, he does say he feels like they're getting back towards the team that we saw at Katowice, and yet I still feel like there's something missing. We see this team at LANs. We see them. They're very, very close as a unit. They normally move as one socially. They're together. And I feel like Simple he's a taskmaster. He's a perfectionist. And it must be very hard playing in isolation, not able to discuss things as a group.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if it is that isolation that is the issue here.
So we had the privilege of speaking to Blade and a couple of people from the Na'Vi camp within the early stages of Pro League and then Road to Rio. We had some opportunities to talk to them a little bit more. And that was one of the things that they highlighted, right, was it's difficult without everybody in the same place to get the same atmosphere going. And that goes without saying, right? But some of the other things, I guess, that shouldn't take so much of a toll is you can balance your regular life a little bit better now, right? It's not the players on the road all the time, so they're able to actually sit and recoup and be at home. So it has its pros and cons, but obviously from a competitive standpoint, not having the teammates next to you to give them the old fist bump or high five or see their emotions or feel their emotions, for a highly emotional team like Na'Vi, yeah, that's a problem. But it's a problem for everybody. Whether or not you can deal with it, that's a different question, right? So I think that Na'Vi, you know, you go into Katowice and you win it, and then you have a bunch of online tournaments. You don't have that same feeling, right? That same feeling is not going to be with you, and that's probably what they're suffering from the most. Is that they hit this peak, they hit the top of the tables. You know, you get Katowices, they're not far under majors when you think about like the totem pole of tournaments. And once you put that in mind, to be able to go back and then want to compete at the same level and have that same passion, it's difficult to produce. Obviously, Simple can, but it's not for everybody.
One thing I will say, Chad, is that I'm not seeing the same level of evolution from Na'Vi. They look like they're quite static in terms of a tactical point of view. I'm not seeing like crazy innovations from their kind of road from Rio, of course, and then EPL as well. We're not seeing much in terms of change, and you'd think that would be the opposite, right? With a coach like Blade involved, you'd think we're seeing some crazy new tactics, crazy fakes, and like different variations of strategies. It's pretty vanilla, if you ask me, which is different to the historic Na'Vi lineups.
Yeah, and I think the reason for that is because they lead with their weapons, right? They lead with, I don't mean the leadership, but what I mean is their key point of attack here is through Simple and Electronic. When you have weapons as sharp as those two individuals, you should be able to get yourself a lot of openings and approach the game in the way that you want. But if those two individuals aren't on form and you're getting the 3 other players, Flamey, Boomich, and Perfecto, not performing to a subpar level at all, then the team isn't going to function, right? So this is where the question is, do they have to be more of a team where they focus on what you're talking about, more team-based Counter-Strike where everybody gets a fair shot or a fair crack of the whip? Obviously, Simple is going to get more of them. But do they have to tailor their gameplay that way? Do some of the risks that Simple takes or some of the decisions they make for Simple, is that a detriment to the team? Those are questions which, you know, definitely could be spoken about and questioned. But I'm going to lead in the same direction I've always been. Simple is the best player, in my opinion, to ever touch the game. And to make it work, they need to make it work, not around him, because he has to play as part of the team, but they need to make it work with him being the star. That's the only way I see these guys being the world number one.
A little birdie came into my ear a second ago and said that we have time for a speed session. I'm quite looking forward to watching this because it means we get to see Brocky and his new look. And if you missed the show yesterday, it's quite something. So let's find out what the players had to say when I grilled them about all things Counter-Strike.
remember the first time you tried to play CS? How did it go?
I think I was at my family friends, and they had this older guy who played CS 1.6, and I tried it on his PC. Obviously sucked, and he laughed at me, but I found it quite interesting.
I don't remember, but my brother told me that I was 4-year-old. He tried to give me playing.
I don't know the situations, but I think it was like a standard thing when it comes to older brothers, when I walked into my older brother's rooms, and yeah.
I got absolutely wrecked. It was in an internet cafe in Denmark. I have a computer, but it wasn't good enough to run Half-Life back then. And then the mod came. It was back in '99, I think it was. So it's 21 years ago. But yeah, I remember it, and I really enjoyed it back then.
I do remember it was 10 years ago, and it went very bad.
When I was 5 or 6 years old, I have a cousin, which we went to the computer club, and then he showed me some Counter-Strike. It was like 1.5, I guess.
What do you think your most memorable play in professional CS is?
Just what popped into my head is the clutch against Stavanger, I think.
Probably winning Copenhagen.
I think it was Drew McMullen in the final round against Vitality, of course, but it was maybe not the craziest play, but in the situation, I think it was mostly of that.
I think I have to say ESL Pro League Season 10, when we came in and won it, beating Astralis 2-1 on home soil was really amazing.
Definitely the Deagle ace I did against 100 Thieves, no doubt.
I have two of the biggest memories. The first one is when I put record against Boomich on E-League Major, because it was so good, when I just did 30 frags. And the second one, I would probably say the first major final, because it was the emotions which I really wanted. I really wanted to win major, and it was something unbelievable when we went on stage.
What does your practice schedule look like now?
We have been practicing for 4 weeks, something like this. So we don't obviously want to overblow it by playing every single day, especially because it's good weather outside and we should be thinking about other stuff as well. Otherwise, everyone in this team are spending time inside, and if we would practice 24/7, it would obviously hurt the team more, I feel like.
I play 6 to 7 hours a day, and then we have off, and then we can do our thing ourselves.
We're playing like 5 days in a week, I think. But after what I think it was Road to Rio, we took a little break. I think people needed it because it was so much to play.
Normal routine schedule is practice 5 to 6 times a week, approximately 7 to 8 hours a day.
Now we wake up at 10 a.m. We meet up on Discord. We have a little chat, to make sure we're all in a good mood coming into the practice, and we just practice. We have a lunch break and we practice until 7 or 8 p.m.
At 11, I'm going to play some deathmatch and stuff like this, aimbots. 12, we have work with our coach, me and Perfecto. We're working together to fix our mistakes. Then we working with team 1 hour or 2 with some stuff. Then we play some 6 scrims with 1 hour break. And after this, I'm working with Blade as well, again, to watch our demos from this practice to fix mistakes.
So those are some personal answers from our players, but now it's time to find out our analysts' answers, because of course you can never miss the opportunity to let Chad talk about his most memorable moment in his professional CS career. Go on, Chad.
ESO1 Cologne 2015, Renegades taking on Titan. That's the one. If you haven't seen that, it's actually in the game itself. So just open up Counter-Strike, go to the Majors tab, and you can find that game, ESO1 Cologne 2015, Renegades vs Titan. One of the greatest Counter-Strike matches ever played, actually, if I'm being modest.
I actually probably could have filled in that answer for you, to be honest, Chad. Henry, your most memorable pro play.
Picking up the trophy and the 2010 ENC, which is European Nations Championship Cup, Team UK versus France Grand Final at Gamescom. It was Henry G as captain against Shoxy, RPK, Existence, Smiths, and we lifted the trophy, 20,000 euros, biggest probably prize pool the UK ever seen. And that was the last career. That was the last event of my career as well, I think. So that was the big highlight. Went out with a bang.
Yeah. Now, though, you get to go out with a bang at events around the world, in stadiums around the world. So it's not bad.
We never
play
have the
on stage in
feeling.
Sydney.
We never have the feeling of losing, Frankie, because even when we play the show matches, we have a lot of fun, so we win. But that's the worst thing about competing, right? Is the feeling of losing. Like, it stays with you for days. I don't know how the players can like lose a match or a tournament and then go into another tournament like a few days later.
He's cracking up. He's breaking up.
No,
he's back. He's back.
I'm gonna blame Malta because right now it is very cloudy and rainy, and there's probably gonna be a storm. I apologize.
It's lovely in London, Chad.
Yeah,
it's almost too hot of anything.
I'm sure it is.
Blue skies.
It's still hot here. Don't you worry about that, Henry. It's just raining.
We'll be hopefully brewing on the server soon as well. We just know that Nico's got some connection issues, so he's trying to sort those out right now.
I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah.
When did you first ever play Counter-Strike? Was it before your esports career? Did you get into it early? What happened?
I was 16, I think, and
Really?
so it must be like 1.5, 1.6. And my boyfriend used to play like overnight, get your mum to sign a permission slip, so you could go play in a basement overnight. Wouldn't let me go with him. So I think I played a couple of rounds and then I didn't get to play anymore because he didn't want me to, because I don't think I did that badly. And then I didn't really play the game until I worked for Twitch. So actually, I think Counter-Strike was the first game I bought on Steam. But I was too nervous to play it when I played matchmaking. I got kicked. So by people being like, this isn't your safe space, because I was like, I'm saving my orb. So yeah, I stopped playing. Then started playing Pop Flash, and then started playing matchmaking again. Realised I was not as bad as a lot of other people in the silver level.
It's a dangerous place. Matchmaking's a dangerous place out there, you know.
Yeah.
And if you can weather the storms of matchmaking, that's how you know you can make it. That's why Valve have it like that. So if you make it through that, then you can be a Counter-Strike player. That's kind of like initiation, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
But look. If you were going to the all-nighters back in the day, Frankie, it's probably a good thing you didn't go inside, because I went to a couple of those. That nothing worse than smelling in one of those after about 6 hours. It's not great. 16-year-olds with BO. It's Who won the knife? Did anyone pay attention?
I think FaZe Clan did. They're on the CT side right now, so I'm assuming they will be starting there.
Bye, Frankie.
We are underway. Thank you so much. That was a lovely segment. We filled up quite nicely. We're here at 6 p.m. European time as we get into the third and final map, Chad. I want you to give it the beans and stuff. I want you to really send it this game as we get into a Tech 9 in the pistol. I haven't seen one of those in bloody years. There's a shredded rush towards upper as well. Broken to defend, and Boomich with that first frag. It's looking good for Na'Vi here. They should have a clean plant going down. Tech 9 to defend as well. It's looking excellent for them. Nico's been smoked out towards main. There is a gap, but they've got so much to do now.
Yeah, and they're aware of the gap as well. But Nico's still going to find one. Flamey, not aware, as I thought one of his teammates had already spotted Nico. But look at this flank from Simple. He's already prepared for the post-plant scenario here. Boomich has another flash to work with. He can hear all this noise. This will be communicated across. And Na'Vi, well, they're ready to pounce on this one.
Absolutely. Here he comes. We'll keep it on Simple for now. And he's got an absolute shooting gallery. But he's he's making it work for sure. The Tech 9 won't be a problem. Even go for the knife to close things out there. My goodness, what a brilliant round there from Simple. Wasn't the cleanest finish, but still a very exciting play. The Tech 9, Chad, you don't see many of those in the pistol round.
No, and that got dangerous there for a short moment, didn't it? I was a little bit worried that he was about to fluff a couple of those, because the Tech 9, look, it's gone through a lot of changes. And now one of the things, if you get a bit spammy with it, if you're trying to use it at range, it's not that potent. You know, it doesn't do what you need it to do. So, unfortunately, or fortunately for Na'Vi right there, he still was able to convert a couple of clean frags, but we'll get back underway, and FaZe will go for that 4-spy, scout out a couple of deagles. We're seeing the early secret smokes crossing outside here, so Na'Vi looking much more comfortable on this map than they were at Vertigo.
Absolutely. I'm not sure how we got to Vertigo, I'll be honest with you, but I'm glad to see us back on more familiar territory. It'll be ready to open things up, though. That's from main entrance towards Squeaky Door. Electronic taken out early. Still with 3 rifles here. It's Perfecto with the Mac-10, and Boomich. He gets his clock clean towards outside. That's a scout connecting. Beautiful shot from Brokey. It really is peeking into this series. And Rain, he's got a chance for a second here. Flamey can walk right into his crosshair with a jiggle. Will will elude him, and Shorty goes down now. Preemptive spray. Might find a couple of kills, but Cold Zera's deadly deagle delivering on all fronts here. It's a 4 versus 1, but simple, Chad. He wins these. He's got the bomb down towards lower, and he's got time to reposition. I say that the Tech 9 trying to scramble, shoots at the window, suggests he's moved out of position here, but this is going to be a very difficult round, taking a lot of damage, and there it is, a beautiful round there from FaZe, and very fast pace from Na'Vi. Didn't really give himself a real fighting chance to get that first pick.
Yeah, after they lost that first kill, it felt like they could have potentially righted the ship, but unfortunately for them, Brokey with that scout, it's a big shot, and, well, that's probably the round at that point, because Na'Vi were left scrambling. There were smokes that they had to push through. The Deagles were up close and personal. There were 3 players in the top site ready to flood into lobby. If there was pressure towards ramp, they could rotate down the vent. Everything was looking good, and now the force buy will fall in favor of FaZe. So with the $1,400 loss bonus coming on through, they also get the bomb plant, which means everyone hovering just at 2k mark. To go for a partial buy, they have enough to go for an all-in and potentially go for a fast top or a set piece into that top site. They can do smokes towards yard. There's heaps of options, but well, no. They're going with a save, Henry. They've just gone with a save.
Straight
Nothing
up.
Crazy. Eagle, a smoke, that's it.
That is it. You're absolutely right. I guess on a map like New, they want to be fully equipped. They want to have their rifles out, so they're going to give them, and we're going to see the scout still in the hands of Brokey here, and presumably quite the clean round for FaZe. It's going to be that second kill found by the aforementioned scout. 5 on 3 as Boomich now taking down to 32 points of power. So we can calm down here. There'll be no chance of Na'Vi really causing a dead. It's not really one of those maps where they like train where you can sneak in a plant, you can send 5 players towards one position, do very well on Nuke. Your best chance when you get the bomb down the vent, but at this stage, absolutely zero chance of a plant. But maybe a kill. A dink is delivered, but Nico down to 17 will find that final kill with the AK 2-1, and here comes the buy. So still, even after the full save chat, they'll only have AK's armor, maybe a couple of glills in there. Not looking good for a map like Nuke.
Yeah, but let's keep it tabs on this, right? So the first round was the pistol round, the second was a force buy, so both teams went all in. The third was just a partial investment. So we've only had, by traditional sense, or traditional CSGO sense, 1 save so far. Let's see how many more we get within this first half here, because once again, max rounds 12 we're doing. Traditionally we do max rounds 15, that's first to 16 to win. This time it's only first to 13 rounds, ladies and gentlemen. Easy one to keep tabs of. With these guns back out here, BMAS over towards the ramp position. That's Olof's shoes he will be filling. Brokey's actually rotated lower with that scout, so he's going to be coming up secret.
Good call. We'll see if it works out for him. Certainly didn't for Rain, taken out through the smoke there. That's going to be the first kill for Na'Vi. See if they can hold on to this lead now. It's going to be difficult. They have Belly and Utility, and Nico starts to creep towards outside. Precise shot towards Electronic. And actually steeps away as well. I'm surprised Boomich didn't go for the challenge there, but they'll go back towards ramp, and Bimas really compromised position. Should be traded out. Has got a chance to drop down towards lower. No one chasing him as well, so that's a great pickup. FaZe now find themselves in a 4 versus 3. We have 2 flashes, a single Molotov, and no real chance of a kill here for Na'Vi as of yet. The best bet is to go towards ramp, I would say, but Nico, he goes up towards the vent and actually gives a frag away. Cold Zera looking to defend this now, and he needs at least 1 kill. This doesn't look good. Perfect flashbang towards the vent, and now here comes Flamey.
Are they going to clear it? They're not even going to look. Cold gets a chance to shoot in the back of Flamey. They know his position now. They have to deal with him, and Cold's done a good job of delaying this. Now it's Boomich and Simple left in a 2-on-2 situation, and BMAS, well, he's given that AK-47 over towards Brokey. He was put down to 22 points of health, so he's only traveling light, and that's with the Deagle in hand.
Bear in mind, this was a very light buy from Na'Vi. They came in with the rifle, sure, but didn't have enough. And they're going for the straight-up save with AK-47s available. No, it's a flashbang, so they're going to be setting himself up. Brokey, we'll see if the mask can find anything here. Cool, the flash actually caught him, I think. So we will see them go down to the 2 versus 1. Brokey probably doesn't fancy this one now. He's got the AK. The money's okay on the FaZe side of things. He's certainly got to buy here, but he'll want to drop that AK over and get the orb for himself. Nico will be the one to drop the orb, maybe the mask. But we'll see now if Brokey will survive. Ideally, I would say give the AK towards Bimas, considering he's the ramp player. You want to have him having that one-tap potential. So that would make sense. Money will be okay, but it's still, what a round from Na'Vi. They had to pick that one up, considering they had barely any utility. It was all down to that vent play. The creep up from Cold Zeras led to their deficit.
So I was just watching that because when BMAS got a kill at ramp, Brokey was actually coming up ramp to help him. But the fact that he dropped meant both players had gone lower. And then Nico was in limbo, right? He wasn't too sure where he needed to be. Do I need to go help lower? Do I stay towards the top side? And by questioning that, it left just Cold Zero solo in the site. So unfortunately didn't have all their soldiers in the right places. And it will be 2-2 right now as Na'Vi. It will be working with a Galil in the hands of Flamey, so it's not fantastic, but it's still serviceable. Perfecto has to win this duel against BMAS here, but he has to deal with Brokey on the line. They're actually going for a ramp crunch. They're going to push.
Yeah, Yeah, this is a very common setup we're seeing these days. Bimas tucked in the corner. You see they're trying to create a duel out of these young guns here. Towards Rampron, Brokey flashed off, but he has got the back button. He's firing off a shot there. That's almost by design. He wants to suggest he's fallen back. That flash was successful, so he can set up his teammate here. Flashing in, there could be a swing as well. Bimas probably going to check this one out. Great flash.
Oh!
Doesn't convert it though. 2 targets. He shoots between the wickets, and that's going to be a 5-on-4 in favor of Na'Vi.
Oh, Nico's gone down as well in transition here. So they're going to continue to push forward. Rain will do his best to mop up the mess. Brokey's going to get Boomich as well, and they've completely rotated away from Ramp here. They've stopped this Na'Vi push.
They certainly have. 3-on-3. You can see the reactive plays from FaZe being deployed right now. Rain trying to get control of the lobby area. Smoke goes down. Big kill on the menu, and he hasn't converted. Perfecto. Still with 67 HP. Can stabilize here. Rain can't justify going for that kill. Didn't take any damage, but didn't find the frag required. Electronic towards Secret. Just having a look now for his teammates. Coldzera. Ooh,
wow.
That's a shot there. He shouldn't have any business getting that kill. Great snappy shot. And now a 3 versus 2 in favor of FaZe. 25 seconds remaining, and Rain, he'll have to defend them as they look to go down the vent potentially. Good smoke.
Not a bad call. Brokey's already in the lower bomb site. That's unfortunate for them. If they do drop down the vent, Brokey will already be waiting. He just will have to deny him.
Should be the round,
the door. Yeah, this should be it.
With 10 seconds, let's go to the plant. Brokey knows it. Hello. One shot. Beautiful stuff there from FaZe. No doubt they were going to pick that one up, and it's going to be 3-2 now. Money should be broken for Na'Vi, as we'll see them enter with about $2,400. And there we have it. FaZe, another great round there. Good awareness, good positioning, and no chance that bomb was getting planted. So very good setup, and we should see, I assume, a partial buy here. Deagles, Technos potentially. Lost bonus not really there, though. It could just be the Felica.
We got a bit of convo in the server as well going on. Nico asking Electronic if he dinked him, and Electronic said, yeah, for 5 HP. So sometimes that'll happen if it's through a wall or whatnot, through the corner of something. The AKs and the Deagles, the M4s, they might not do as much damage as that sound suggests. But yeah, so this is the second partial investment from Na'Vi in this half, right? The first one we had on round number 3 of the game after they dropped to the force buy of FaZe Clan, and now here they're in with another one. They've actually been getting the bomb down in 2 different occasions, so if they were able to plant in that previous and wasn't stopped by Brokey, then potentially a little bit more of a potent round coming on through, but you can just see how easy FaZe dispatched this. It's like, okay, you guys want to buy Deagles and aim map? That's literally what we were designed for. Oh,
exactly.
Okay.
Well,
nice
simple. He certainly was creative for those sort of shots as well, I would say. That's a lovely bit of work there with the Desert Eagle. Does take down Nico. Shouldn't be much more to be said about round number 6, to be honest with you, but we'll see what they can do with it. 3 Deagles up against a fully equipped FaZe Clan. It's 4 versus 3 currently. And in terms of their final plans, it's not really much to talk about. They don't have any grenades to really get themselves into a position where they can get the bomb down. Rain will find one of the closing frags here. Just Boomich and Simple remain. They've got no armor. Just going to be limping in towards areas here. It's very slow pace considering what they've got. I'm surprised they're waiting this long. There shouldn't be any world where Simple can find a kill, but as I say that, chat, it's a beautiful shot, and that's why they're waiting so long. Great stuff.
There's a gap now as well, so unless there's a third from Simple, so these are 3 1-dig headshots he's been able to land. Brokey doing his best impression right now is actually fluffed it, and Boomich has another, so now it's the youngster. The youngster, BMAS, left in a 1-on-2 situation against Simple and Boomich. He has to plant. He's planting for heaven. He's denied it. He just has to hide. The youngster, he's done it. He's absolutely foiled the plan.
There it is then. What a great round of Counter-Strike there. There's going to be no money for Boomich going forward as well. So there it is. Even after a hat-trick from Simple, the 1-digs from hell, and an impossible scenario. We called it done. They had no armor, no utility. He manages to get 3 Desert Eagle headshots. Everyone's typing nice shot in chat right now. And of course, you have to agree. What a brilliant round. Still wasn't quite enough there. It gets denied by Bimas as the bomb doesn't get planted, but still on the edge of their seat there. FaZe get through, and we get into the next round here. And it's actually another weak investment from Na'Vi. Remember, they had bottomed the barrel off going forward in the previous round, so they only get 1900 here. It's a difficult one for them with Tech 9s and PT50s.
You know what I think's happened here? Because Boomich died after the time, and him not getting any loss bonus, he was the only one who wasn't able to get a buy, right? At least with an AK or a Galil. So he's probably called a partial investment. Simple's gone all in, has an AK-47 now, and this buy looks very lopsided. So even next round will be a compromised situation, because if they lose this, they're only going to get 2,400.
Well, this is why you have players like Simple on your team, I suppose, to win these sort of rounds. And Nico's, he got a couple of freebies there. Oh, he knows exactly where they are. What's that pre-aim about? He knows what they're up to. And Electronic will be taken down early. Cold Zero helps himself towards the lobby as well. Full control of the huts, but Simple finds him. Shot connects there from Brokey, but only slightly. Perfected down at 65. There's action all over the map here. Flaming in that Tech 9 is giving them the man advantage, but not for long. There is so much to keep up with.
What is happening?
I don't know, but the Tech 9 is delivering on all fronts. There's Rain coming up towards the vents here. Brokey will be joining him. He's towards top of heaven right now. When he goes down towards lower, Flamey has threaded the needle, and this partial investment has worked out tremendously well. Just Brokey remaining. No chance of going for it. Money's actually broken as well. What just happened?
Okay, so Nico pushed outside and got a free kill. Cold Zero was in hut aggressively as the ramp contact was going down. They even threw a Molotov behind Cold Zero's position so they wouldn't expect anybody to be hut. But after Simple had babysat the other two individuals and got room, he turned around and caught Cold Zero out of position. So it was just positioning, timing. It was a bit of that for everybody in the early stages, and as soon as Na'Vi were able to get out onto the top side, well, that was it. FaZe lost all the territory. They were chasing their own tail. Na'Vi walk away now and put a third round on the board. We're sitting at 4-3. So we're over the halfway mark here within the first half. Oof, okay. It worked out. I didn't think there was any world that buy was going to work out.
Well, that's two mental rounds back to back now. So we've had the Desert Eagle sequence from Simple there. Wasn't quite enough to win, but the Tech 9, it certainly was. This one's certainly warming up at this stage as well. Map number 3 delivering on all fronts. Here's Nico pushing towards that side. Like I said, the pre-aim, he was so aware of their positioning there. That should have been the round in my opinion, but still, the Tech 9, Flamey sneaking through. Perfecto making it work as well. And we get this round number 8 here. It's going to be an investment from FaZe, quite a heavy one, down to $500 again, the magic number. And they'll have Scouts, Deagles, CZs, and an AWP for Brokey. So we'll see whether that saved orb will be enough.
Yeah, well, it was enough before on the force buy they had in round 2 of the game, so there's always a chance. But Cold Zero getting spotted out early, he gets the kill. Boomich is down. Him and Rain are both low, and well, it doesn't matter. Rain's hit a 1 dig of his own. So Flamey falls. These kills are going absolutely gangbusters right now.
I'm loving this so much, Chad. The Desert Eagle, one of the most exciting weapons to watch, and you got some of the world's best players with that weapon on the server right now. Rain, he drops from the heavens into his own grave, but still, it looks like it's enough for FaZe here. 2 versus 1, but still not said and done. Perfecto, he has got a chance of winning this one. Orb and a Scout, and the clutch scenario here. Flashbangs available. Tech 9 as well. Perfecto, he grabs the bomb. 1 minute on the clock here, and this is one very exciting game. One amazing series of Counter-Strike so far. He's had it all. We just need a knife kill to come in. I think we're off to the races. Perfecto. Chance of that first one with a dink. It's worked out from the USP, the flashbang combo. How many bullets do you have left in there?
I think he had like 5 or 6 when he started shooting. I didn't actually take a look. I just heard the click noise go.
Dead man's click?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, he's in a bit of trouble here. Obviously not wanting to make any sound cues. Didn't know exactly where the last 2 CTs were, but Brokey and BMS playing together. The youngsters able to close that one out there.
Excellent work. Well, here we go then. FaZe Clan answer back. It's certainly been a bit like a game of tennis. Who will break serve though? It's the full eco for Na'Vi, so maybe FaZe have the upper hand going forward here. CT-sided map, but an MR12. This is a pretty good showing so far. Na'Vi just need 3 or 4 rounds, which they've already got. As we get into the next one here, shouldn't make much of a dent here, but I've said that about 3 times, and the most unbelievable Deagle shots seem to be landing every single time. So we'll hold our breath for a second and see what Na'Vi can do with this.
Yeah, look, we know it's a little bit scrappier. We know that there are a few more risks and gambles being taken, but that's what's opening the door for some of these ridiculous plays that we're seeing or having a hard time seeing because of how much action is going on all across the map here. BMS is going to get Boomage through the smoke. Nico takes down Flamey. Look, this is just duels everywhere. Everyone is just going around the map seeing if they can find fights. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It's just madness.
Yeah, well, here we go then. Another shooting gallery for Brokey. Rain will join in. A couple of pins down. That's Electronic removed. It's Simple and Perfecto once again. They like to slow things down, Chad. You can't really argue with them. The shots they were hitting before. There's waiting for mistakes to be presented, and there might not be many more because Simple's left with just himself and 4 FaZe players on the server. 45 seconds remain, and towards outside he goes. 1 kill, probably top end in this particular scenario, but never underestimate Simple. He's capable of doing unspeakable things here. Finds himself an M4 and makes his way down towards lower. Bomb on his back, making a few sound cues, and Cold Zero will take him down there. Getting to the bookend of this first half. FaZe Clan 6-3 up, and the money not broken for Na'Vi with the loss bonus being there, but going to be a few compromises. 1 player in the form of Simple can only afford AK and armor on the nose.
Just a question, Henry. When you're spectating through GoTV, is Simple's crosshair different to everyone else?
Right, I have that disabled right now.
Yeah, for me, it's only showing up for simple, but everybody else has like got micro, which is strange. I'm not even sure how to get that going. I just wanted to see if you were seeing what I was seeing.
No, I've got a big red one for whatever reason. Don't know why.
You like red?
Yeah, so there we go. We're going to get into the next round here, and we'll be seeing Nico, aggressive outside. He is going to be playing with fire here. A couple of players in front of him. The first is through the smoke. That's Boomage, but Electronic will trade him out. That was from Secret. 4 and 4 should be favouring Na'Vi, considering it's down towards Secret as well. It's all about the rotations on Nuke, and in terms of the lower bomb side right now, we just have one player. That's going to be Bimas. He's coming in from ramp, meaning the aforementioned position is going to be open, and Rain, he's sitting the smoke over the old nutmeg here. Chad, see him, he can outposition Flamey, catch him off guard, but he tucks himself in behind the orange boxes here. This is actually right down to the wire. I don't know who wins this. Looks like Flamey. Guaranteed frag. The Galil comes out trumps, and the double kill. Great awareness there from Flamey. 4 versus 2. Broky's still alive with Bimas here, and they've got utility, but the flashbang catches the AWPer in the face. A minute remaining. Shouldn't be a world where Na'Vi give this one up, but anything can and will happen here.
At least one of the positives right now for Brokey, he's looking to heaven, but nobody's home. So the Molotov he's about to throw is going to...
there it is.
It's dipped down the ladder, hasn't it? Hasn't it? You couldn't... Even if he tried, if you said, Brokey, I'll give you $50, mate, if you land the Molotov down the ladder cleanly without being able to see, he'd miss it every time.
Oh, it does happen at the worst possible scenarios. Still, they do have a fighting chance. Doesn't look great in the 4 versus 2, but we'll see what they can make of it. Brokey, Desert Eagle, Simple's on the other side towards Squeaky, but the bad news is towards Ramp. Perfecto's there as well. He'll get that first kill, no problem. Lovely shot. Still has a chance here. One of the best clutch players in CSGO right now, but does take a bullet to the face. Through the hut, admittedly. Still with a chance here, but it's diminishing by the second shot. Great shot towards Flamey, but I think his objective now will be to save that all.
He's quick, though, isn't he? And the fact that he's been able to do that much damage early, I think that might make Simple and Electronic think better of this chase. Electronic could start combing in his direction if he wants, but Simple definitely has to stay planted with that C4 in the lower bomb side.
The best players in CSGO right now, but does take a bullet to the face. Through the hut, admittedly.
I think that was my best...
beautiful.
That was my best South African accent, accidentally.
I liked it.
Yeah. But look, what's this? Round 4 on the board for Na'Vi, so this will be round 10 in total, coming to conclusion. We've got 2 more rounds within this first half. And, you know, back in the day, Nuke was probably a map where a 12-3, 11-4 scoreline was very expected. So in this format here and how Counter-Strike has kind of changed and chopped around, I think 8-4 is probably a scoreline FaZe would be kind of happy with. That seems potentially par for the course, you know, with a few less rounds in play. 8-4 is not a bad mark to find yourself, especially after losing pistol.
Yeah, you're dead on there. I think that's a good point. They'll be happy with what they have so far. And to be honest with you, could get a couple more Na'Vi. Look what they're up against here. Sure, Broke got the AWP after surviving the previous round, but they haven't invested much here at all. A few CZs, a couple of Deagles, no armor, apart from Bimas, who will be picking up some Kevlar there. And Na'Vi, they just need to slow this one down. They don't need to go for a fast-paced round here. Work out with the AWP's position and then work with that information. Currently, Brokey's towards the ramp. And it's towards the hut. We'll find that first kill. Coldzera strikes back, though. Compromised position, but he makes it work. The last 2 bullets of that CZ. He connects towards the head of Flamey here. Is he worth one more? Apparently not. Electronic will find him. But still, the action continues here. That's a big kill. 2 versus 1. Brokey. He's still part of this, but the sound cue from the Molotov won't be heard. The shot, it almost connected, Chad. Can you imagine if it did? He'd actually maybe win that round. Close, but no cigar.
Yeah, I think I would have blown the roof off this place. This whole chaotic pistol round situation that we have going on with these low buys. I think every single round other than round number 3, which is where Na'Vi had that, you know, 2 Deagles, every single round like that has felt competitive, right? We had Simple, he got those 3 absolute bangers. We had the one just before with the saved AWP and the Scout, where BMS came out and won the 2v1 situation against Perfecto next to the vent. They've been down to the wire a lot of these rounds, so both teams struggling to keep their head above water here. And we might even get tied straight down the middle at 6-6 as we do move into the last round. Nico's just found the timing here. He might find a free kill on Electronic. He does exactly that, but traded through the smoke. Boomage well there.
Certainly wasn't a freebie towards the end of it. Boomage through the smoke does answer that, but Brokey arrived at the scene of the crime. They might not anticipate a second player there. It's a sniper as well. You can see how weak FaZe look in this final round here. Just 3 flashbangs, no kits, 3 players without helmets as well. Na'Vi have every advantage to get asked for. In CSGO, a 4-4 technically favors the terrorist side. Maybe not so much on Nuke due to its verticality and the transition of the CTs, but we'll see what can be done here. 1 minute 10 remaining. Brokey will go towards ramp, and it's the outside smokes deployed by Na'Vi. Rain will lose his vision, and for now, still very slow. Final round here. Na'Vi don't want to give anything away.
Yeah, and one of the things that FaZe have been doing a lot is aggroing lobby, getting in hard, pushing behind their smokes. You've seen Rain go for a couple of nutmegs in Squeaky Door. Those kind of plays, they're not on the agenda here within the last round of the first half. They're dipping right on back. They're giving Na'Vi a bit of respect, a bit of room to work with. And with no flashes... Well, with only flashes to work with here on the FaZe side, they don't really have a way to stall on out. They have to hit some shots, and Cold will take down the first.
Here we go then. Na'Vi do make their way towards the upper bomb side. The final round, 30 seconds remaining. It's just the FAMAS waiting for them. We're down to a 2 versus 1, but it's the big man himself, Simple, with a window to get down towards that vent. Does he take it? Oh my goodness! How is he still alive? What a shot from Simple! It's not quite enough there. Oh my goodness, I thought he'd done it there, Chad. Down the vent could have been the correct call, but how did he survive to even get that first shot off?
Yeah, the acrobatics on the ladder right there. Stylish stuff from Simple, but he was able to convert that, and they managed to get 6 rounds on that T side. They would have been celebrating a little bit early, I think. So now with the 7-5, it's not split right down the middle, but we're
not quite.
Pretty close. That's a very respectable half right there from that of Na'Vi. They were able to string 2 rounds together. That was the most, but it doesn't really matter, right? You just get one on the board, you get one a little bit later, and then they still have a threatening half here. So FaZe going to have a lot of work to do, but we've watched this team play Nuke for 2 months straight. We know every single smoke wall that FaZe have to offer. I want to see if they throw these smoke walls and scrim through them. You know, throw a little bit of this pug randiness at it, because if we know it from watching, I can guarantee you Na'Vi and Blade as the stuff, they know what to expect too. So some variations, you know, you can throw the same set pieces, but have people go different lines, go different angles.
I want to see some more experimental Counter-Strike, Chad. Some of the stuff they've been saving, some of the more interesting, innovative stuff to come through. We'll see if FaZe have been working on any sort of mad experiments, but getting into round number 13 here, the first of the second half of our final map now. No Tech 9, sadly, but there is a P250 and armor for Rain, who's been in great form recently. Look out for him. He'll be getting towards outside, of course, that range advantage, and Simple, here's the seeded armor combo. So here comes the first interaction. Simple and Electronic working towards outside. Electronic does fire off a couple of bullets, but nothing connecting just yet. Vision removed by the smoke, and he'll fall back. So what's the play now? Yeah,
definitely not pushing through that. That would be an ill-advised idea. He's actually going to push straight through. This is what I'm talking about, Henry. You're not going to see that every day of the week, as Nico, he appears like Houdini, takes down Electronic, and now it's Flamey who's going to pull out a bit of magic. Simple will take down Rain, but Boomich onto Brokey means we find ourselves at a 3-on-4.
That's crazy. The bomb getting dropped as well. They can't go for the fast plant here, but Nico, probably the best weapon on the ladder, I would say, but it's not going to be connecting. The burst fire, he'll have to go for it. He's still willing to take this fight. He actually gets up, and he's got his teammates behind him as well. That's a kill for Nico. Drive-by on Boomich here, and they've surely got full control, but Na'Vi keep pushing back. Bimas left in the clutch. It's not going to be enough. Another exciting round there. Nice work from Nico to get those 2 frags, pushing the main smoke as you anticipated, up the ladder. Teammates behind him, but still so accurate from those USPs. They fend them off, and they close the gap.
Yeah, the round started perfectly. You get a freebie on Electronic, who probably would have punched his monitor. That's what I would have done if somebody just did what Nico did to me. And then they're still able to convert the round right there. So this is where FaZe, they think better of the force by Henry. They didn't plant, right? They didn't get the bomb down, but they're still going for a save. And this is where MR12, you need to approach the game differently. Traditionally, FaZe, they'd be going for a buy within this type of a round, right? They'd be trying to stay threatening. But here, they're taking the save. Next round, they're going to get the 2,400 loss bonus. It means they can have the AK-47s out across the board. And things are going to be looking good for them going into the next gun round, because look, it might be 4 MP9s right here, but the longevity of these for Na'Vi, it can't stay for as long as what maybe it previously could have.
Yeah, we've seen Na'Vi make it work in the past, though. Like, I always say this to them, like, they got the MP9s going into it, but if there was a map to have close-range little duels and ratty positions, the MP9, it could deliver, and it sets them up for that massive bonus potential, right? Like, if they win the next round, let's say this is a clean one, they have the MP9s, I would say they probably throw away maybe one of them. If they have the chance to get the AWP out, they'll probably do that. They'll Simple the AWP and keep the MP9s. That's their usual go-to. That's if it's a clean sweep, right? But, yeah, I feel like it could work on Nuke on top of the heart towards ramp. You have to change things up, but is it worth the risk in MR12? That's the question. You don't have as much longevity to experiment with these sort of bonus rounds and see what kind of risks you can take. As Electronic, he'll start charging in here, farming the money, want the MP9s to find all the kills as possible. They get 4 of them. That's exactly what they wanted. Now, this is interesting. They can afford the AWP, but they could drop it over. I don't think they will, but that's an option for them. They can keep 3 MP9s, have an M4, and the AWP Simple would be enough to win the round. But let's see what they've got in mind here, because he's already got the M4, right? So There's the AWP. He's done it.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did it.
So there it is. So I don't mind this talk. That, in my opinion, is the best move they could have made. It gives them a bit more of a bite in this round, and still they're saving a lot of money going forward as well.
Yeah, and Electronic's taken the M4, right? So with
Yeah,
that in
makes
mind,
sense.
you've got your two most powerful players with the most powerful weapons on the side right here. It's going to be a hard top, though. What is this from FaZe? They're just barreling on in. The smokes, the mollies, the flashes, it's all going on through, and this is where the MP9s can do the absolute most damage, but Boomich, he won't get anything more than one. Perfecto taken out of the equation.
Ooh.
Electronic through the smoke, that
There we
M4
go.
in vain, and everybody's fallen. Simple now has to save.
What an assertive call from FaZe Clan there. We were talking about the buys, the nuances of the next round coming in. The nose, the straight up upper rush there. It's the perfect counter. You'd think the MP9s could push out more damage there, but they just weren't ready for it. Perfect play from FaZe, and they're going to be taking the lead here. 8-7. Their first round on the board of the T side. It's Simple will desperately try and hold on to his AWP. Always towards the window room. There's no way he survives this. I say that. The CZ's out, Chad. There's a chance. The AWP, the quick scope. Oh, it connects. And Brokey, he'll be left with a bit of egg on his face there. He could... There was a world he could jump on the bomb there, to be honest with you. I mean, he might have got it. And Simple continues to find players here. He doesn't win the round, but it's enough.
Yeah, have you ever gone fishing? Have you ever been fishing before?
I have a few times.
Okay, so when we used to go fishing, we used to throw burley in the water to bring the fish.
Little
right?
catapult, so.
Well, that's what I think that Simple just did. He threw the smoke as bait down on the site to get all those little fishies of FaZe to come back towards the bomb to see if he could do any more economical damage. He got another kill because of that. BMS wouldn't have been transitioning in that direction, right? He probably would have considered, oh, I might just save my gun in secret here where it's safe. But instead he's come back out. That smoke maybe was enough to lure him out there, maybe get them scared.
Well, still very exciting scenes here, Na'Vi. They lose the round, but they remain with the Simple AWP. We all know how potent that is. 17 kills today. Flaming, big spray down towards the ramp. The MP9 is delivering this time. Simple, he arrives as well, looking for his second kill. Can't connect, but still, they have the man advantage here. 2 M4s and a FAMAS in hand. coldzera down to 32. A chance for Nico. Normally hits those. Not as crisply as he'd like. Perfecto will have to drop down to the side floor. And now Nico suggesting he's gone down towards the vents, but still, he remains to fight. There is utility available for coldzera. Smoke, flashbang, and an HE grenade. But Nico, he knows he's committed to this fight now. Does he want to go any further? His teammate will join him towards the hut. Oh, spotted. That might set coldzera up, though. He's assuming they've gone down towards the vents, and Nico gets back up.
Oh, the bomb spotted now, though. The rotation will come in towards the top site. Cold still has a smoke to work with here. And a HE does a good chunk of damage onto Electronic. So now they know where the bomb is. They know it's going down. And Boomich, well, he's going to strike quickly from up the vent. Electronic's already pushed the ladder. Now Nico's in a 1-on-2.
That was from heaven. So they have isolated the bomb, but the C4 is planted. Nico thrives in these scenarios. He knows exactly where Boomich is. That's towards the vent. Electronic struck from the heaven position. Nico, no utility. I dare say he might have the advantage here. He knows exactly where the plant is. It's perfect for him. He knows they're not defusing, but there's nothing he can do about that. Great shot from Electronic. He saw the cables there, so he could confirm there was no full commitment on the defuse before he could even kind of translate that information. He's taken down. What a shot from Electronic there.
Yeah, the clutch play coming in. Boomich just on the ladder making a lot of noise. You can see Nico was well aware. Oh, he's baiting me in. He wants me to keep focusing on this vent position. He retooled, but it was too little too late, and the FAMAS strong enough. The AWP will be recovered. It'll be thrown back into the hands of Simple here. Guns will be dropped across, and it all started, as you can see on your screen right now, with a double kill of Flamey. Only made interesting by the next two, well, the next 3 kills of coldzera, but that wasn't enough to get them across the line here as things are tied on up. FaZe will have another buy, but it's compromised. We don't have a lot of utility we're working with right here, Henry. This could spell disaster for FaZe.
Certainly could. Galils are out, AK-47s, but we have got the fast push from Rain. He can see the gun barrel here. It should be a guaranteed kill. It's Electronic over there. He doesn't want to pull the trigger just yet until he can guarantee it. Takes a dink, though, Chad. He's going to be gutted it went down like that. He gets the kill. They should get the round with that second frag. We'll see what Simple can do about this one. It's still up for contention. 3 versus 3. Boomich with 2. How's this working out? Simple.
1v1. What?
In a winnable scenario here. He plays towards ramp. So where is he right now? Actually in towards hut. Nico again. Another clutch scenario. Round 17. 8-8 on the board. Couldn't be closer. Money broken on either side as well. This is a huge round here. Nico will have a minute to work with. He has the advantage of being on the T side here. He sets the pace of the round. Now, Chad, he's got a flashbang here. Flamey is with a lack of information. Does he just plant his feet in the hut? Is that the best position for him? Does he want to get towards events?
The worst spot that Flamey can find himself is in transition between both sites right now. He needs to just sit, pick a bomb site, tuck himself in a corner, and hopes that he's made the right gamble. Nico has to make the mistake. He has to make that next move. And any sound cues that he gives away allows Flamey to hone in on his position. Now that he's come up ladder, he will have to drop at some point. We know he has to make noise to get down to this lower floor, but he spotted the foot. That's huge.
Yeah, Flamey didn't get that information, I don't think. He's still looking for the push, though, so maybe this is going to come right down to the wire here. The mind games are unbelievable. I'm assuming Flamey did see him. He seems to have so much conviction behind his positioning right now. 15 seconds remaining, advantage Flamey. He doesn't know he can't go down towards lower, and he doesn't take the bait on the plant. This is actually a bit of a nightmare. Does he fake it again? He does. Flamey commits, and he hits the shot. Great stuff there. The old veteran stepping up, and Nico is denied access once again. 2 in a row for Na'Vi. We said the money was broken, and it really is in the face side of things. Surely the full eco.
Yeah, this is the situation, right? With the lackey band of the economy, right? The flowing back and forth as that slider moves up and down, depending on if you win or lose a round. You can just see on the knife's edge of how both teams' economy are. If you're FaZe right now, you could make an argument to go for an all-in force buy and see if you can do something quick, see if you can get down, see if you can keep pressure on. But they've actually opted just to keep it relatively calm. They're going to keep this one just down to the Deagles. A bunch of smokes in play, 5 to be exact. What could be the plan here? Because Nico, he's already crept on out behind their own smoke. He wants to see if he can find a CT lingering, getting a little bit lazy. They're posturing now. Looks like they're setting up the L-frame smokes towards the yard position. Nico, look at... Oh my God. Nico has
the kind of shots you like to see, Chad. That's what it's all about. That's why we watch Counter-Strike. That's what we're here for. The showstoppers. The jaw droppers. As Electronic will answer back there, it's going to be a 4 versus 4 flashbang deployed to main entrance. And still with no armor, FaZe are making this competitive. Lots of damage output so far. Electronic down to 42. It's the Glock being fired off by Brokey. They've still got 3 smokes. They get down towards Secret as they boost up towards Red. A very interesting round here. I feel like Nico's got 1 more in the tank as well. You can see that boost just enables him to look towards CT spawn. And Na'Vi are sweating bullets right now. I don't want to give anything away, but they have. Boomer's caught off guard there. And Electronic, he's still towards the warehouse. Should be able to pull a kill back, which he does. Takes out the danger man. Nico removed. 3 on 3. Massive advantage now for Na'Vi. FaZe kind of isolated.
Yeah, they still have 2 smokes to work with, and if they can creep across, as I say that, Electronic spots the head, but they're even across, so now there's a real chance. These Deagles close range. BMAS has just dropped off, and he's made sure that the vent rotation can't come on through. Sure, he takes damage from that nade. Oh, never mind, Flamey. He's dealt with the mess. He's cleaned it up. He didn't have too many dramas there. BMAS is going to do his best here to get some kills, but with 15 seconds remaining on the clock, I don't see a lot happening.
Exciting round for sure, but Flamey, there was no way he was going to give that one up. You got unarmored players there. You got the silence them for.
He needs to die.
Position.
You need to die.
You're right. That's
you need to die.
And for reasons Chad just stated, because you do survive the clock, as it were, and then die afterwards, you get no money for the following round. So important need to go down as we get into round number 19.
You know it's not good when the CTs start running away from you. That's, that's when you know.
Please take me. I'm yours.
Okay, now if FaZe want to get back into it, they can right now. They've got the max loss bonus if they do lose this round coming on through, so for them, buys shouldn't be an issue as long as they can get that C4 down. So now we're getting into it. They're finally tooled on up. It's no more of these buys with only Galils and no utility. It's AKs with all the goodies behind it, but they need to make this one count. It's a very important gun round here.
Huge. And we'll see faster pace towards outside. Nico leading the charge here, looking towards that main entrance. Electronic peels off slightly. More defensive setup this time. Looking to get some sound cues, just cover the cross for now. If any contact plays come through, Nico, he'll reel it in. Join his teammates towards outside. They can still do the smokes. Looks like they'll be setting those up right now. Going to be just giving the bomb over towards Nico as well. So here come the aforementioned smokes towards outside. As Chad said, they've got plenty of different variations. FaZe, we'll see which one they're lining up right here. I would say they usually go for the L block. But we'll see what they've got in mind. Just a couple of them towards outside. And here come the smokes right now. And indeed, there's the L block deployed. And that means they can focus towards warehouse or main entrance. They can push through these smokes, as Chad had speculated before. And they can boost behind them as well. Flashbang as they get in towards main entrance. So, this is on the left edge here. Electronic to be tested once again. Is he ready for it? It's towards up and they go. He's made a real meal of it. But still, they're on top. 2 versus 2 now. 50 seconds remain. And this is the kill that decides the round. Simple. Removed by Nico. Great shot, Brokey. And a really interesting strategy 15. There, Chad. The L block smokes, as we talk about all the time, they're there to take vision away, but you can push them and go for those upper splits.
Yeah, I love that approach right there. The fact is, you could see the cat and mouse game that Electronic was playing. He's well aware of the different approaches that FaZe like to go for, and he even sniffed out the right one. But just as he looked towards topside, just as his teammates were calling, nades top, I'm flashed, they're coming out hot, he's looked the wrong way. He's managed to get one kill, but if he was able to get both there, I dare say that might have completely stifled that top hit. So unfortunate for Electronic. He had the right idea, just the wrong timing. And now, look, Na'Vi back to the bottom of the barrel loss bonus. They've got, well, nothing to work with here.
Oof, well, the first kill for Nico. Well, we're coming through no problem. FaZe Clan off to a bit of a flyer here and coming towards upper. Been asked to pretty much confirm the round here. There'll be one kill in return from Na'Vi. That's found by Boomich, but just playing Electronic remaining. One of those rounds we don't have to expend too much energy over. This is coming to 10-10 in a second.
This one here, Henry, I think we're seeing, like, when this is back and forth, like when this is not like massive streaks of rounds, or it's not like we saw from G2 yesterday where they were getting blown out. Same thing happened in one of the OG games within the MR12. Just once again, for those new viewers who are joining us, maybe you've only been watching Counter-Strike over recent years, the traditional format that you would be used to watching is max rounds 15. First to 16 wins. However, we're experimenting right now. We are challenging the conventional wisdom. And here at the Gamers Without Borders, we're running max rounds 12. That means first to 13. And the way that these rounds are flown, I get to look at the round timeline. It's very back and forth. The longest spree of rounds we've had in this game is 3. It's been back and forth.
This is coming to the bookend now. It's been a great series. The best one we've had this tournament so far for sure. As Perfecto, perfect weapon for the spray down here. It's the UMP that finds 2, but Brokey, Nico, Coldzera, they're all chiming in here. FaZe are fighting back, and it's looking very strong indeed, but still a 2 versus 2. Bomb to be planted safely, smoke down towards main entrance here, and simple. This is where the orb comes into a bit of question because it's so difficult to make it work. We've got the pop flash from CT Spawn, but Chad, it's not the ideal weapon. He'll have to swing in here. If ever there's a man for the job, it might be this guy here. Simple. Oh, that's the shot. No. He actually misses it. His window of opportunity is closing here, but Electronic pulls the kill back. Flashbang from Brokey, 46 HP. The smoke is down, buys him a bit of space here. No kits available, but there is a smoke. Electronic surely drops it on the bomb, goes to the defuse here. It's faked. They're not committing to this. And Brokey, he'll have to do the same. Here comes the spray. He's done it once again. And Brokey clutches out another 2 versus 1. He keeps delivering as his player is just showing us every single week, Chad, how strong he can be going forward.
He doesn't panic. There must be, you know, this kid just breathing. He's doing the Wim Hof breathing method, mate. He's not panicking at all. Because in these situations, like right there, as soon as you hear the smoke go down, the bomb get tapped, most players are stepping out, they're spamming, they're seeing if they can take him out of the equation. Yeah. He just chilled. He let them come to him.
That was a 5-on-3, bear in mind as well, so that's massive. It's absolutely destroyed the economy of Na'Vi as well. They're down to pistol, no armor, basic grenades, they've already been used as well. FaZe are hunting for series.
Oh, Flamey!
The Flamey with the first, the king off ramp! He delivers once again, 4 kills for Na'Vi, and now it's a 5 versus 1. Where did this come from? Why have you rushed Ramprum on the most pivotal round of the game against the pistols, Chad? We hate to see it, but you've got to respect the spray down of the CZ.
Oh, Flamey, we've seen you do it from there before, mate. When they come away, he lights them up, he gets it done. Look, it's fast, it's exciting. The risks have to be taken, Henry. I know we don't love it. We know it's not the percentage Counter-Strike, but it's delivering entertainment value round after round. And now FaZe, oh dear, they got to pull something out of the back pocket because they got the AWP, a Deagle, a couple of AKs, a Galil in play. Na'Vi, they've got the better looking buy here.
Unbelievable. They didn't even find a single kill. The tightest choke point on the map against the CZs. They chose Ramprum, not even a nuanced default, just a straight up rush. And Chad, we talk about this team, we know they're emotionally invested. They know what they're capable of, and those sort of rounds, it can tilt them. They don't have much working with going forward here in round number 23. A Deagle for Nico. The Galil's out, sure, Brokey's got the orb, but on the T side of Nuke, it's not like it's a massively high impact weapon. We'll see the L block smokes go down once again. So will they be able to replicate their scenes of going towards main entrance? They take quite a lot of damage in transition here. Electronic, different spot. He's aware of them sneaking towards main entrance. This time, a little bit more traditional. They're going to be going towards secret. Oh, but my goodness, what a series this has been.
I think we need to take a deep breath right now because this is actually one of the first slowish rounds we've had in a while. FaZe Clan not just popping on out here. They're taking their time and they've got control. Now, it's all going to come down to the rotations of Na'Vi. We can see that not too many players dealing with this lower bomb site right now, and Boomich, he's made a bit of a staple of how he likes to defend this side of the map. He's taking more of a passive line, jump peeking, potentially spotting and falling, and that should be the cue. The Deagle bullet goes off, back into the site he goes. He needs to get on the railing, though. He could be a little bit late for this one.
He's got it in time. It looks like it should be fine, but Bimas will open things up. It's going to be Boomish looking towards that window position right now. The door opens beneath him. High pressure scenario now. The smoke goes down, enabling the plant, but do they want to go for it? Space struggling here, but Coldzera finds the opening. Flamey, he can output a lot of damage here from range, but they'll go for the safer plant. It's Brokey. Orb on his back, gets a C4 down, and it's going to be Flamey. Has to wait for the backup now. Who will be posting map and DD series point first? 3-on-3. It will favor FaZe for now.
Well, the door's open and Rain has to deliver here. He's get taken down by Perfecto, but Brokey and Cold still stand. 2 to find. Brokey has to hit one of these shots here. The AWP he can't miss. It's good, but his position's been given up. This crossfire's looking fantastic.
No, I like this, Chad. I like this a lot, but it's now down to Brokey. He can't do it again. The quick scope! It doesn't come through this time. Is there a kit? There absolutely is, and he had the chance there, Chad. I felt like it was going to happen. My chair was about to snap in half if he hit it. But there it is. It will be a Na'Vi posting round number 12 on the CT side first. The bomb goes down, and even with that, they've got $3,000 per player on the FaZe side here. It's going to come right down to round number 24. They have to buy, of course. 1 AK-47 is available. That goes in the hands of Nico. Tech Knights, Desert Eagles here. 1 round to decide it all. This best of 3 gone the full distance in the third map, and it's certainly delivering on all fronts. Simple, 22 kills, everyone chiming in with these epic moments, and Brokey, he can't deliver on that one, but it was so close.
Yeah, I think I might be having to explain those overtime rules here, Henry.
Yeah, you
once
might
again, it's a fast approach. We've got these secret smokes coming out. Nico playing around them has already found a lot of room, but they're out hot dry, and they get the opening. The trades are everywhere. What is going on? 2 players remain. Simple up ladder. Flamey has to rotate in from lobby here, pushing towards ramp. The nade, it's good. It's Flamey in a 1-on-3 situation. Surely he can't do this.
Flamey will be towards the trophy room. FaZe have done enough here. The upper pants works out for a 3 versus 1 scenario. Flamey has a kip, but only a single flashbang here. Surely there's no chance. And Chad, you're going to have to get your rule book out here. The referee, is he going for the save in the last round?
I don't know. Flamey, surely you realize we're playing MR12, my friend.
You're there?
Flamey, we have to go for it. This is the last. Hello?
It's a big save. I respect it.
Oh,
He'll be using M4 in the final round.
All right, I will explain the I'll explain the overtime for everybody, because this is slightly embarrassing for Flamey, so we'll take this away. So... the players, Nico just typed last round, and Flamey typed oh.
That's amazing. I thought it might happen once in this tournament, but not there. Not now.
No.
Not in the third map. Not at series point.
Okay, so the way this overtime, from what I've been told, is going to work is it's MR2, which means you need 3 rounds to win overtime. So there'll be 2 rounds on each half. If you go flawless on the first half, for example, if now they're able to win 2 rounds here off the bat, they only need 1 round on their T side. If they only win on their T side. Now, this could become very, very drawn out, because to win 2 rounds consecutively in one half,
guess starting on the CT side is massive there.
Yeah. This is going to be difficult, but we're back off to another fast pace here, down towards Secret. That controller is already garnered. The rotations are coming through, and FaZe are capitalizing on that movement already. Out towards ramp they go.
Here we go then. Overtime. And MR12, Simple will open things up. It's a great shot towards the ramp room, standing in the flames as well. But Nico, you got to hit those ones. That was on a play, and now Flamey might be on for the double. It's the Org that's delivering here. 4 versus 2, Brokey down to 2 points of help as well. They'll get the bomb down. They certainly are capable of winning this. The double B combo. I've been kind of building this one up. If they can win this round, it could become a thing. Brokey will swing the door open, and unfortunately, the low HP will be his unraveling there. Bimas left with an impossible task here. Towards the shadow position, and at the AK-47, he can Molotov the bomb. Maybe the double doors right now will be a good shout, but either way, he's done for. They know he's there, and that's going to be the first round on the board for Na'Vi. So, Chad, if they win the next round, from what you've said, is that going to be it? I don't really know. I'm very confused.
If they win the next round, they still will have to win 1 round on the T side. Right. So if you have a flawless first half, you only need to win 1 in the second half. Yeah. So basically, it's about just defending, right? If Na'Vi are able to defend 2, then they've already guaranteed themselves double overtime. That's the way this one's going to work on out.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, okay. This is going to get real spicy. The way that this could go, this is almost like needing advantage in tennis, I would say. Sure. But well, maybe not. Yeah, it's strange. But we're gonna see how this plays on out here.
It is like breaking serve, I would call it, you know? Like, it's trying to get around on the T side, which would be huge on a map like Nuke especially. Either way, let's get into this fast-paced round. FaZe could be in trouble here. Big spray down from Electronic there. They're trying to pick up the pace. It was the upper split, but now they're going to have to go for the heart. They still have something to be said, though. Boom it with the M4 in hand. Finds the bomb. Looking for rotations here. The AWP shot connects. It's the alley-oop, and it should be the round, but Brokey, he gets 2, but it's not quite enough. The 2-0 is found, and that means 1 round required here for Na'Vi on their T side. But still, FaZe are in this. 2 on the TT side, certainly possible. This could go the distance.
Yeah, well, I think the players might now have just quickly learned the way this one's going to work on out.
Yeah, don't save any guns from now on, Flame. That's all you need to do.
And he might even get the win. It might be the most genius save we've ever seen, Henry. You never know. They might be able to pull this one
That's
off.
true.
All right, so right now, Na'Vi on their T side just need to find 1 round here. FaZe, they need to defend 2 points in a row to take us to double overtime in this different format. So bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll give you the info as it comes to us. Now, Nico's going to get Molotov behind him. He's stuck the double, the triple nades, absolutely nuked there, but he's going to stand 17 points of health. Maybe they're not going to clear his position after those HEs. Up and over. What?
That's sick. That's not human. That's actually unreal what he just did there. I didn't even see it from his POV, but I can tell you that's a stunning shot. Let's get into this 5-on-4. Electronic down towards lower. Bimas, he'll have no idea. Surely he doesn't pre-fire this one. Guaranteed kill, but not a foregone conclusion there. They need to get the bomb planted first, and there's still mistakes that could be made. 5 versus 3. Brocky on the AWP. We'll see if this is where it all comes crashing down for FaZe. It's the 3rd and final map. 14-12. 1 round will do it for Na'Vi. They're surely in position to close this one out.
Isn't it weird? 15 to win. I don't think I've ever said that.
Yeah, right.
And Cold, he has to push forward for some information here. So at least he has lobby control. But with all this lower territory and Na'Vi playing so slow, they're just waiting for any mistake of FaZe Clan to come on through here with this number advantage they have. It's perfect. There's 1 for Cold, but his position's given up, and all that damage being done now means an extra puzzle piece for Na'Vi is in play. They know where he is. They can isolate and Flamey from above. Spider-Man down the ladder. That's surely it now. That bomb going down is a 4 versus 2. Rain and Brokey with the AWP available as well. Good shot, but now just Brokey, AWP, an impossible task. He's amazing, the clutches, but this just doesn't look good for him. If he can show us a few impressive shots, that would be something. There's an opportunity to take down Simple. It won't happen, and there it is. Na'Vi close things out in overtime, and it's going to be 2-1 in total. Chad, I have to say, that's been the best series of the tournament so far. A really exciting affair that had absolutely everything. Yeah, I think Frankie labeled Vertigo perfectly. It was an intermission, right? Maps 1, Maps 3 were great. They delivered, both teams clearly using strategies. It was much more puggy. It was very scrappy, but entertaining. I don't think anybody could argue the entertainment value of that game. It was there.
It was really, really there. And I mean, what can you say about that? It was a masterclass, an individual skill. Nice to see Flamey returning to the server. I know it's been a tough time for him, but Nuke is where he can really shine. You were talking, boys, about the fact that, of course, you've been watching FaZe play Nuke. It feels like day in, day out for the past couple of months. Did their Nuke feel very different today?
We definitely had some interesting ideas. Like Chad speculated before going into this one, he expects him to be pushing smokes, and the one round that sticks out like a sore thumb is the L block smokes towards outside of that upper split, Chad. That was a lot of fun there. We saw him actually kind of changing things up. Is that the sort of play you were kind of speculating before?
Yeah, and I think that even the pistol round as well right there with Nico pushing in and killing Electronic where they just smoked into main, those type of plays, that's not what you expect, right? Because they have normal patterns in the way that they tend to approach those smokes. But by having a format where the rounds are a bit more chaotic, you can see teams playing a little bit faster, you want to throw in those curveballs because in the back of the players' minds, they're conditioned to thinking this is what this smoke means and this is how they're going to react. Well, you do the opposite, or you do something not even in this universe. Of course, you're going to get away with some of those rounds where it's just kill after kill after kill, and then we find ourselves in a 1-on-2 situation, and me and Henry are looking around the server like, what the bloody hell just happened?
I can't believe some of the shots, Frankie. I was almost falling off my chair. The clutches, the shots coming through, the deagles as well. This tournament really is delivering. I can't wait to see a bit more.
To be honest, when I was watching that, I kind of resembled a lady on a hen do because of the noises that I was making. I became a woo girl.
Wow.
And that is a reference that probably no one will get because it's referring to a defunct sitcom called How I Met Your Mother.
No, that's all right, Frankie. I look like Ted Mosby, apparently, so we can probably combine references there at some point. But yeah, anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. And we got to see the Simple and Nico show that we desperately wanted. FaZe, though, the demons they face in terms of closing. Now, this is a different environment because they know that they're taking home a huge slice of that prize pool. And I say taking it home. The money never goes to them. It goes directly to the charity of their choice. And we'll be finding out the charity they chose at the end of today's show. It was good to see them having a little bit of fun, even if they couldn't take it home in the end, Henry.
I feel like that one round, Chad, I'm sure you agree with me. Like you said, we've casted so much FaZe as of late. The ramp rush against the Pistols, man. Like, I feel like FaZe were the better team today in this best of three. I felt like they were robbed of the first map. They looked like they were running away with it. Never discount Na'Vi. Their individual form was fantastic across the board today. Flamey had some amazing moments as well, but that one round will stick out for me a lot. I don't know how they made that decision against a low buy to rush ramp when you've got a full buy there, and MR12 especially, too volatile for me, and it cost them the map, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, but a good showing. I think that FaZe, after getting to play one MR12 best of three yesterday, you could see some of the adaptations they were making in their playstyle. It was a lot of the similar stuff, just quicker. And for Na'Vi as well, you can tell that even on Vertigo, they got blown out of the water, but they were saving guns. They were trying different bits and pieces. And when you factor all that in, it was a map that they picked to maybe have a crack and exploit a FaZe weakness, and they still win the series. So I guess for Na'Vi, they got to have a Gambit pick, have a bit of fun on Vertigo, and still walk away with a spot within that grand final, right? So they play the winner of MouseSports OG. That's what the bracket
They do
showed us, right?
indeed. That'll be tomorrow. It's going to be at the later time of 7 p.m. CST, and it's a best of 5 final. Okay. So we're going to probably not see Vertigo again, and I think that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I think they should keep that in their back pocket. One of the things going on later today, which I'm actually going to stick around and watch, is going to be that show match in the NA side of things. The Tuscan's in play. Now, I don't know how Tuscan's going to work. Yeah, it's in play.
You and I
for sure.
played it. It's all
it's that version. So this is a cool... The thing is, with that matchup, it's Liquid versus 100 Thieves later this evening, and I know for a fact JKS and Azza both had played that map previously because they were Source and 1.6 players. I don't know about the Liquid camp, but I'm really excited because we want to see if that map even makes any sense in CSGO. We haven't seen it played professionally, so I'll be sticking around for that one for sure.
Now, gentlemen, it's very, very rare that I get to say this. We're running bang on time as that series went to a 4-3 map. So we've got to take a quick break. But when we come back, we've got our second semi-final. It's going to be MouseSports versus OG. And it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. You don't want to miss it, so don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Norman Mitchell, standing here in front of Be Busy Wellness Center in Houston, Texas.
Mid-County area is where we're going. Port Arthur, Nederland, Port Neches.
We're in Canovanas, the shelter here in Puerto Rico.
We're here at Jardín Pushkin in Colonia Roma.
The hallmark of disasters is you have to do what you do, you just have to do more of it faster. 2017 has seen more large-scale emergencies in sequence than ever before in direct relief 70-year history. The people who know the most, have the most at stake, are going to do the best job with the resources they have are the ones who live there.
just received a large shipment of critical medicine from Direct Relief.
Some gauze, some bandages for people that are managing the response and rescue efforts.
You're standing strong, united with every other organization providing primary care and critical access to those individuals who have been most impacted.
Right now, 70.8 million people have been forced to flee. It's not just a number, these are human beings who have had to leave behind everything they know and love. A daughter, a mother, a father, a son, families just like ours. They need all the support we can provide. Emergency aid, food, shelter, clean water and sanitation, education, legal assistance, and camp management. We protect people displaced from the world's most dangerous conflicts and reach more than 8.5 million people in over 30 countries. With over 70 years of experience, we've evolved into a leading global humanitarian organization.
The Norwegian Refugee Council is present in wars and crises around the world. We help millions of people who have fled their homes. We provide hope. We help provide a future.
Our 14,000 aid workers help people across the world. We help save lives and rebuild futures.
Welcome back to Gamers Without Borders. Now, before the break, FaZe sadly were eliminated from the competition by a very exciting looking Na'Vi. And if you missed Nuke, maybe go back after the show and give it a rewatch because it's definitely worth a little bit of your time. And we got to see the first time we saw, well, it was the first time I should say, that we saw OT in this MR12 format. Chad, were you happy with how OT went down?
Yeah, I think it's going to take a while for me to get my head around it because, and even for the players as well, right? We saw obviously Flamey and Regulation saving the gun towards the end there, but they probably went into overtime not quite familiar with the rule set there either because this is new for everybody. So I don't know how I feel about these things, but I'm glad that we get to test it. So maybe some more overtime so I can see a little bit more. This is one of the things I'm here for, to be inquisitive, to make sure I take some notes and can reflect on these bits and pieces. But all in all, I'm enjoying this. I really am liking the pace of Counter-Strike that FaZe and Na'Vi just brought into that last game. And I hope that MouseSports and OG can deliver the same, at least same type. It doesn't have to be the same speed, but similar trends would be nice to see.
Well, MouseSports are a team that like to start with fast rounds, Henry, so surely we are going to see quite a lot of action from them today.
They certainly do. Chad and I, another team we've commentated a lot of, they like to go for very blistering pace starts, so especially in these sort of matchups as well. They consider themselves the favourites. Problem is, though, they're not in great form right now. We've seen them at the end of 2019 look like one of the world's best teams, picking out multiple trophies. 2020 hasn't been so forgiving, especially DreamHack as of late. They have looked pretty woeful, Chad. 0-3 in a group. To be honest, with Mad Lions, Complexity, and Big, you only had to come top 3 in that group to make it past, and they came dead last there. Really not looking good for them in this tournament going forward.
Yeah. Sorry, Frankie, jump in.
No, you jump in, because we're actually going to take a closer look at the roster as you guys discuss this one.
No, I was just going to say when you take a look at not only their losses within DreamHack, but you look at the Pro League as well, and some of the stuff that happened within Road to Rio. Obviously, within Pro League, they were in the final, right? But we were talking about in the early stages with this team what type of Counter-Strike. We got to interview Carrigan in the early stages. He said, well, it's online, so we'll just be doing a lot of our smoke gimmick plays, and that didn't work for them, right? That didn't work for them going forward. The wheels fell off, and unfortunately, MouseSports have had to actually take time off. You said, Regis, that they were taking some downtime, Frankie. Is that true?
Yeah, basically after they went out of DreamHack Masters, Regin said, right, at least 4 days you're not touching this game. Carrigan actually posted on his Instagram yesterday that he'd gone off to an outdoor spa, and if you are a purveyor of his Instagram account, I highly recommend a follow. Frequently, Finn is seen meditating on his back or wearing a face mask, which has been applied by his lovely, now memeable girlfriend. She really wants him to win a major. So I think hopefully the R&R has done our mouse in-game leader a little bit of good. But whether they're going to be rusty, as we've been talking about, that remains to be seen, and we'll see it very soon.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. And moving over to OG, I guess this is a project that's still in development. It's been a while since we've really seen them kind of shock the world. They've got a great roster here, probably one of the most expensive ever assembled in terms of the big names brought in. Similar mentality to what we saw from FaZe. They've got some veterans in there, some absolute masters of the game in the form of Valda, MBK, of course, but then you've got some young guns as well. Mantu primarily, the young sniper, and I think he's comparable to some of the players there within FaZe, especially Brocky. Maybe not quite as notorious, Chad, but certainly catching all right.
Yeah, look, Mantu for us, when we came on in and he was picked up, it was like, why didn't they get an AWPer that we all knew about? Why didn't they get one of these names that was floating around the scene? But I think the thing is, Mantu is the best player on this team. Mantu, right, we've got him in the head-to-head against Woxic. I think statistically speaking, I would have to double-check, since he's joined the OG roster, has been the highest performer. And Woxic, well, we may as well compare the two AWPers here, because Woxic is another AWP player, very, very quick, highest sensitivity on the scene, and somebody who is highly emotional. And that's what I want to see today. If they've actually taken a break, they come on in, what version of Mouse are we going to get? I hope it's a relaxed one. I hope it's one where maybe Rops picks up the AWP if his position needs it. Maybe Frozen goes for a little bit more of an audacious push if he feels it, because they just need to get back to kind of feeling the game. And one thing I don't want to see is Chris J in MR12 with Deagles on gun rounds. Get some bloody M4s in your hand, mate, because I want to see you finding the frags. He's 30 now, or Chris J's. He's an old boy like us, but I want to see some good stuff out of him going forward.
Well, I did catch up with Regin earlier this week, and I did ask him about Chris J and Deagles, so let's find out what he said.
I'm being joined right now by Regin from his place in the Czech Republic. He is Danish, but he's moved to the Czech Republic as of January. Is that right, Regin?
Yeah, I moved here. My wife is Czech, so it made sense to go here while I have this job and I'm traveling so much and she can be close to her family.
Of course, that does make sense. And how has the lockdown been in the Czech Republic?
It's been a bit more strict, I would say, compared to what I've heard from Denmark. Now, here you have to wear a face mask when you go outside and stuff like that, so it's a bit more strict. But in that case, I also think it's a very good idea because you constantly get reminded. The face mask itself might not protect you, but I think the fact that you're thinking about it and getting encountered with it all the time, I think that's a big help.
You did come second, though, in ESL Pro League. It was a fantastic performance. That final was a full 5 maps. And then you crashed out of Road to Rio so quickly. What do you think happened between those two events?
You can become a little crazy when you're sitting home days and days out and working, have to perform. Private life suddenly feels like a constant work life because this is also where you have to perform, but it's also where you have to relax, and those two things can be really hard to separate, I believe. Some teams are more used to it than others. But yeah, we're just not in a very good shape right now, and I'm not going to use any excuses for it. We have to do better, and we should have done better.
Are you going to change any of the decisions being made in game, like Chris J in overtime buying Deagles, obviously saving up his money to buy guns for players like Rops? When he's on entry and he hasn't got the best weapon he can, that's surely going to go wrong.
I mean, if that was the case, or if that was the reason why we lost, I would definitely change something about it, but as for now, we haven't been punished by it yet. So I see it as an advantage right now we are having. We just cannot utilize because we are losing in every other aspect of the game.
What's your thoughts on getting to experience MR12 this weekend?
Like, we have to remember why is it that we are trying this approach with MR12, that was because of time-saving management. Because right now, a best of 3 can take up to 5 hours or more. That is the main issue, and that is what people are trying to make it more, let's say, edible for the common viewer of who might be new to Counter-Strike, who thinks 5.5 hours is a very long time to watch a game. It's very interesting. I'm gonna look forward to it.
Well, Regin, I hope that you're going to have a few days off as well before Gamers Without Borders starts, because you absolutely deserve it. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you very much.
So there you have it. Regin, the coach of MouseSports, explaining that his team was in desperate need of some R&R, and he is taking a lot of the blame, so to speak, for their poor performances on his own shoulders as well. So I think he was also in need of a break. I want to talk about Chris J. We mentioned the fact that Chris J has been buying deagles in OT in one example during DreamHack Masters. How is this affecting his individual performance, Chad?
Well, it's definitely in the red, right? And I think that this as a team-based decision is probably not a bad thing, because I can justify it from getting the big guns in the big players' hands. I get that. But when I watch MouseSports over the years, and I've watched an awful lot of them, Chris J has been throughout an impact player. Somebody who, he's not going to get you the 2 kills every round that you might want, like a Rops would, but he's going to single-handedly win you a pivot round that gets your boys back in. And if he's being hamstrung in just because of an economical decision, that for me spells disaster. I want Carrigan going out first, finding space, allowing the youngsters to come on through off that information to find frags. And I want Chris J, when the chips are down and his youngsters aren't fragging, to step on up and say, look, boys, if a 30-year-old like me can do it, you can do it too. And I think by him making those choices, it limits the amount of opportunities he has to do that. So I want to see it go back to the old Chris J. I want to see MouseSports get back to some of their form, because they're a very exciting team and Carrigan is a great in-game leader. And I think what is important here as well, you mentioned about Regin taking a lot of this on himself. I think that's huge for coaches to actually take that and say, look, some of this is my bad, because that's the generation we're going to be moving into with Counter-Strike.
Another thing that Carrigan said in his Instagram post was that he's had above 150 hours over 2 weeks watching demos, inventing a new playbook, playing individually and hard practice with the teams besides official games. So lately when I play, I see not my usual self and make too many unfocused mistakes. And there seems to be a conception out there in the audience that players at home playing online, they've got it easy. Like there's nothing to complain about, that they've got no excuse for poor performances. But actually, I can't imagine it being easier, because personally speaking, I found this super hard, and I'm not doing 150 hours a week playing under the pressure of my fans and expectations and for trophies. So do you think, Henry, that actually online is not the walk in the park it might seem to people?
It's definitely a compromised environment. It's not what they're used to. Obviously, going for the last 3 or 4 years on the road, having your teammates next to you, they're not thriving, that's for sure. MouseSports are struggling somewhat, and they are burnt out as well. We know they're a world-class team. Towards the end of 2019, there was like 4 trophies picked up, 5 grand finals as well. It's not the same team right now, but it's good that they're rebuilding. I think they need to retool. They have to just go back to the strat book. Regin knows they need to refresh everything. And normally, the best thing to do in these sort of scenarios is move the positions around the CT side. Kind of refresh everyone, get things kind of a little bit newer looking, a bit of a shine on there. Not sure if Chad agrees, but that's normally what I would be doing in these sort of formations when you're in a slump. But I'm assuming we'll see something a bit different in this sort of tournament. See some experimental positions potentially.
Different, I think, is probably the best word of what I would expect from MouseSports. For OG, there's no reason for them to do anything different. They may as well come in here and swing for the fences. Play your absolute best Counter-Strike that you can. Treat this like it is a tournament, right? That if you get that first spot, maybe you get first in the world, right? That's the way I would treat this as OG. I'd come in here very seriously, just because you want to command respect with these teams down the line. Even though it is a charity tournament, everyone's here in good faith and for a bit of good fun. This is something which is a competition, and these things can be remembered as we move forward. So coming into this today, I want to see a different look from MouseSports. I think maybe a little bit more outside the box. Like I said, maybe Rops AWPing occasionally, maybe Frozen doing something a little bit crazy. That's what I'm looking for here, Frankie.
Well, the veto is Mirage, picked by OG, then MouseSports picked Nuke, and Inferno's remaining. That's a great veto for MouseSports, because let's face it, pretty much anything is. They can play anything, and OG looked really on form on Mirage yesterday. It was 13-7 against Fnatic. Understandably, they've picked it again. I do believe we're ready to go into game, so I'm going to let you guys take it from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go then. Another best of 3 MR12, MouseSports and OG, 2 international squads step onto the server here. There will be MouseSports down on the CT side. They are hamstrung. This is not the team you're used to. I'm expecting another strange game with some very aggressive, interesting plays. I hope we get to start screaming again, chat. That was a lot of fun. And let's get into it, shall we? OG heading towards B.
Well,
not for long.
Dead off, and Frozen's kicked it off with 2 headshots of his own. Wow. Woxic has a deagle on the pistol, Henry, so that kind of is going to tell you the direction we're going here today. And MBK and Issa, they're the last 2 men standing up in the B apartments. They do have a USP to work with, a low HP MBK in the mix here, and it's a 1-on-3 situation now, so it's very unlikely.
Yeah, it is extremely unlikely, if you don't mind me saying, as Voxic with that Desert Eagle. Now, Chad, you don't see many of those on the pistol rounds. Do you want to explain why to maybe some layman viewers out there? Why wouldn't you have the most powerful pistol on the first round?
Well, it's very powerful, but when the T's have the Glocks and they're moving very swiftly and they're in a pack, you can get isolated and taken down very quickly. What makes a Deagle so potent is the fact that you can isolate 1v1 duels against rifles who may think they have the better of you, right? That's what makes a Deagle so powerful against an AWP or an AK. But against the Glocks, if you lose territory, you get run down. The Deagle with only 7 bullets, unless you are the god of the game and you can only hit heads.
It's fascinating with the USP as well, right? Which is a one tap you on the headshot, but it does have a lot more damage output, close range if you hit the chest. Obviously, you can find quick kills there as well. You just don't see it too often, but when it works, you certainly love it. Either way, one of these throwaway rounds for OG. If they get the bomb down or a headshot, I would say that's a victory in its own right. There's the first objective completed, and that's Voxic going down. So his former teammate Issa will be dropping him to the ground there, and will be going for a plant if possible. The M4's recovered. Now, Chad, they don't have to commit to this. I might be considering slowing it down and see if there's anything else available to them. Smoke down towards Connector. M4 still looking healthy, and Valda, he's checking out CT spawn. Great shot from Chris J, and Rops will answer back and be dropped.
Yeah, Mantu's been able to pick up that M4 though, and look at Alexi B. He has the bomb. He's actually headed over towards this B site. So they've completely drawn out the rotation. We've got MouseSports fumbling around with guns here, expecting the bomb to get planted over towards A. But the fact that they're not committing, they're not pushing any further. Alexi B has an open B site here, but he has no idea. And now as they push more forward, now as it goes quiet on this A bomb site, I would start to get a little bit scared.
Yeah, Chris J's got to start considering his options here. There's no bomb being spotted, and luckily he arrives just in the nick of time. Obviously, LXCB doesn't have the information, but now another kill comes in. That's Frozen being dropped. This was an eco. They didn't bring anything more than one single Desert Eagle, and Issa has found all the kills so far. M4 available for Mantu, but Chris J with 30 seconds. A couple of kills and deny the plant, that would be enough. Carrigan will pull one back. That's towards it. That's their cue to go. Chris J knows he just needs to deny the plant here. It should be enough. I still say they'll win this round. If he gets this kill, that's going to be the one. And surely there'll be no chance here. 1 versus 1, 15 seconds. Mantu, the young gun, he gets the information as to where Carrigan is, but this is a mind game now. Flashbang delivered. No bombs to be planted in Carrigan. He's being swarmed and taken down. It's a full eco victory, and OG will come out on top there, right down to the wire. Looked like Chris J did enough, but Carrigan, he gives it up.
That's nightmare fuel, Henry. We already know the woes that MouseSports are under, the pressure that they're putting on themselves, the narrative coming out from the community now, the fact that Frankie was just saying they took a break to revitalize themselves, and then they go and they drop the ball against basically the full eco here.
Glocks and 1Bs.
Oh, no. The fact, look, as well, the fact that you just brought it up, the fact that we haven't spoken more about Issa and Woxic in a head-to-head. Maybe that one should have been the one I picked here. But,
Foxy just called Issa lucky. He goes, nice shot, lucky.
They have a good relationship, I would
like
assume.
Yeah.
Teammates for many years there on, I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years or something on that. Maybe longer on the Hellraisers roster.
Yeah, I think that's one of the partnerships that's kind of forgotten. Angel especially, like when he was in top form, like that was a great little team. They were very, very strong. But either way, it is going to be the force and response. MouseSports will have 4 Desert Eagles, a single Scout, and not much else to report, I'm afraid. We have no grenades, no defuse kits, and 4 AK-47s joined by the M4 for OG. Of course, taking this one slowly, no ramp rushes or anything like that going down here. They're going to be dissecting the map with the smoke towards Connector, and the first shot's now given towards LXCB. Down to 60 HP. MBK to lead the charge, though, should be absolutely fine there. Carrigan, he'll be removed. Have the chance to get the 1D, but not quite connecting. 5 on 4. Rops needs to see some more out of him this series. He has been performing relatively well, but the last month or so, the whole team's dropped off significantly. We'll see whether he can cause any damage here. As made their way towards B, OG have a bit of an open runway though. You can see no CTs there whatsoever. And I guess you might as well save Chad, unfortunately, with the 3 Deagles and the Scout. There's no reason to even go for it.
Yeah, and this is nightmare fuel, I think, if you're MouseSports. I said that last round, but I want to say it again.
I like that.
because the thing is, with the MR12, I'm going to say it again for all the newer viewers out there, I got to make sure that I reiterate for everybody at home. Traditionally, if you watch Counter-Strike, you'll be watching what we call MR15, which stands for max rounds 15, first to 16 wins. That's something from a very long time ago. It's just lingo that we've carried on across. This iteration is a format that was used before a game called Valorant literally ever was an idea in anybody's mind. It was called max rounds 12.
There we go.
And we used to play that back in the day. A long time.
I do hate that narrative that people are like, oh, we're just copying Valorant. It's like, no. This is many years ago we had all this. They're the ones definitely directly taking Counter-Strike inspiration.
Yeah, so hold up a second, guys. We're here to find ourselves a discussion is what we're having right now. And Gamers Without Borders have been kind enough to give us a bit of a funky format. And I'm going to use this term a lot, but it's challenging conventional wisdom, right? Counter-Strike is a game that has been around for a very long time. CSGO has been out for already a decent chunk, the lion's share of a decade at this point. And we may as well, in this moment when the world's a little bit weird, just take a look at everything.
How mad is it to think that CSGO has now overtaken CS Source in terms of longevity?
Yeah.
Play? I was having that thought the other day. Like, my career was less than CSGO's kind of esports kind of tenure now. It's kind of fascinating how quickly that's kind of blinks past us. It's crazy.
The last 5 years have gone super quick, but let's see how quick Chris J can be. He's scoped on up. He's made a lot of footsteps right here, so he will be heard. So this conga line, the OG forming into the B bomb site, led by MBK, can strike. Alexi B doing his absolute best to sell this mid fake on his own, and that's it. B's open. These Deagles and Scouts aren't going to do a lot, are they?
Yeah, Frozen normally would devour that sort of kill, but I guess it doesn't really matter either way. They weren't going to win the round, unfortunately, for them. It's going to be a 5-on-1 Rops. That's more like it. Does get the 1D, but unfortunately, the logical conclusion is found. 3-1 OG, and they are looking very good, I have to say. $4,000 per player. So they are committing to this buy. I can confirm that. We certainly won't get the Voxy AWP. He's a very good rifler, but I would say the team does depend on his sniping potential. Ideally, they want Chris J and Voxy. We know what Chris J can do on this particular map with the AWP. And as you mentioned, like, their financial decisions regarding him have been avant-garde, to say the very least. That's the way I'm going to put it politely. I'm not a fan of it, but we'll see if they address that. I haven't seen any Deagles for him so far.
How do you like no AWP in the first gun round? Because I'm not a massive fan here, but they're going to try and make it work. Chris J playing retake over towards Ticket, 3 players over towards middle. I love the bench play right now from Rops, able to use the smoke to shroud his position. And now that the mid smokes are clearing and there's... Whoa, T's coming through the underpass. They might reconsider hanging around the middle, backing on out now. They will continue to keep main control, but Mantu coming through the underpass with the AWP. Not necessarily an AWP's paradise.
Not necessarily. 1 minute 15 on the clock here, and Mantu waiting patiently towards the underpass. Flashbang towards middle. We'll see if MBK and Co can find its opening kill. Like Chad mentioned, no AWP on the CT side of Mirage is significant. A very powerful weapon, very dynamic, can be moved around in pretty much every position and transitioned across the map as well. We'll see whether these 2 flashbangs and now no remaining smoke will be enough to defend a full execution mode G. They actually have most of their smokes, their flashes, their molotovs, and this is why you're seeing players like Rops have to play heads up. He has to go in front of their execution and get control of the ramp run because they have nothing to fend them off.
But this is great, though, because now as they come up connected, there's a crossfire on either side. They only have 1 player to deal with in the apartments, and that's Issa. So if they are able to hold him down, this is fantastic from Mouse. It's a good crossfire.
It's a really good crossfire. They need to hit the shot, so Chris J, good for 2. He's been gifted a 3rd as well. Great setup. As you mentioned, not the cleanest of shots, but still, this is looking really good for them. Frozen will confirm the round. Just Mantu remaining now, 3 versus 1. No chance of winning it due to the timer. He'll have to jump it towards window and try and save the AWP. He nails his jump. It's a very difficult one. Does hit his head on the roof. I think he goes down either way. So there it is. Voxy will get his AWP. First round, well, first gun round for MouseSports, I should say, after winning the pistol. And a convincing one as well, with no grenade shot. They played that perfectly. Everyone in front of the execution, ready to battle and shutting down any split potential there.
And Chris J looked fantastic with a rifle in his hands, didn't he? 3 massive kills. He's the impact player of the round. And Issa, even though he was coming through that apartment's position, was dealt with by... Who was it hiding there on the site in the goblin box? I'm not quite sure.
Frozen.
Okay, so him just tucking himself in was more than enough there to get across the line. So now as we get the guns back out once again, pretty standard approach from OG. Smoke towards windows, smoke towards the back of Cat, but it's all the ruse over towards A through apartments. I like this on Inferno. I don't love it on Mirage.
Let's see what happens. It is the flash attack we've been calling a Mirage, so you'll see a couple of basic smokes. If that, one flash will go over and they will pounce. Chris J, there's a single flash. They haven't checked the concentrated position. He gets the dink off, but not the second kill. A chance here now for OG as they can bust through. Still going to be a 4 versus 4. And now they actually haven't pushed any forward. I think they've been locked in towards Palace. Bomb's still there. Flashbang goes over. They might have to peel off this one. I don't think it's worth it anymore. Do they go for it?
I guess because they have connector control already, they can fight jungle if they need to, and they can one-way this smoke. Look at Mantu standing behind it and flashing. That's going to force Woxic right back. The rotation still hasn't come on in, and that kill from Alexi B could be absolutely everything. That's going to cut off all the rotations from the CTs. Frozen... He has to deal with it, he will.
Oof, that jump, the leap of faith from Mantu, it does work out for the plant at least, and it's going to be a 3 versus 3. Bomb down, kits available, and smokes to the CT side. They've got an AWP on this retake, but 2 AK-47, so they're well tooled to actually attempt this retake here, but good crossfires from OG. Just a low health for Issa. He's been given the sniper rifle here as the bomb ticks away. This is a real huge frag, and there's no time to check every position. Frozen will be taken out. Voxic now needs an early pick, but they're not giving anything away here. Might be better off saving. That's a good shot. That's probably going to persuade them to go for this one now as they start to get closer and closer. Time is ticking away. It's at the point of no return right here, but this is looking good. The smoke going down. No, I think they can do this still. With the smoke down and this kill, there's a chance if he doesn't find it, he gets to defuse the bomb here. Robs doesn't quite get it, but still, it was close. I'm not sure what it came down to in terms of seconds there, but I think it was possible to defuse the bomb had he not been taken down.
What I don't understand is Rops was on the long flank, but Frozen was very quick to come up through the connector position. So I don't know why. Maybe he thought that no one had taken up a spot after Alexi B had gone down in that earlier duel, but Vol there lopped his head off, and that was the kill that basically cemented the round right there. Yeah, I'm a little bit puzzled as why Rops either wasn't quicker or why Frozen wasn't a little bit more passive, but it doesn't really matter as they will go for a force buy situation here, and it is just straight into an A execute. MouseSports, they're not home. They're clearing middle. They're over towards B. They're checking out all the other parts of the map here before they're focusing towards A. So if OG go now, which they are, they get a free entrance.
It's looking pretty good. You can see all the grenades being thrown over. It's a beautiful display here from OG. Vision being removed from MouseSports here. They have got the rifles. They're fully invested. They're taking significant damage now as well. As the HE lands in the pocket, they're a boxer. The bomb's already going down to Jess. It's a perfect strategy. If it's a 5-on-5 situation, you've got a post plant going on, you've made the perfect call here. Carrigan, Desert Eagle only. Issa is going to be chomping at the bit to get stuck in here. Doesn't quite make the vault up, but he nails the shot regardless. Carrigan will be removed. You got to save this one. He surely can't be going for this. But Chris J does find an opener. He's low HP, but do they still fancy it? Towards CD Spawn, Frozen has to be the difference maker here. They don't have a kit, chat, but still, they're making something of this one. Still going for it. Finding the AK-47. They don't have the smoke, and now they do, and another kill comes through. Do they want to go for it? Without the kit, it doesn't look likely. The smoke's going down. They're going to have to go for it now, and they don't have the time. That's the problem. That's why we're saying that saving could be their only choice, but still, they'll save the weapons, take 5 down, but an MR12, I have to say, they'll have plenty of money going forward. It's not as significant, really.
Yeah, it's good damage, though.
Good damage.
MBK's money, not fantastic at this point, but everybody else on the OG side of things will be able to buy. So that force buy right there, the fact that they weren't able to convert that, I think these are some of the bits and pieces which are lingering in my mind from all the old economy, right? Because if you couldn't go into a gun round with diffuse kits and all the utility, you often wouldn't go into that as a gun round. But now, because it has been a little bit more forgiving, the back and forth nature, every round almost feels winnable in current Counter-Strike. Why not, you know? But in this MR12, with each round weighing a little bit more, you have to weigh up your options a little bit more, don't you?
Yeah, you absolutely do. It's a really interesting financial game, and I'm interested to see how it develops. And for now, 5-2, OG in the lead on their T side of Mirage here. They got the opening kill. It was a brilliant shot from SO, who's been performing very well, but equally dished in return by Chris. I think he got to hit those. He makes up for it in the end, and there's going to be a trade of Alder towards Carrigan in the B bomb side. Voxic's still there towards CPL. 3 versus 3. You could pretty much guarantee B should be cleared. MBK confirms it. The incendiary deployed by young Frozen there. Haven't seen a massive amount from him so far. 6-4, one of the absolute stars of this team. See if he can deliver here in round number 8.
Yeah, I think they're locked out, and this is probably another one of the rounds where they probably should consider saving. But with the diffuse kit in Frozen's hands, the fact that they can at least be in striking distance for this, I think MouseSports are hungry for it. You can see they want to fight. Woxic pushing forward. Now he's trapped. He has to go for this. Chris J's found Alexi B. That's just MBK with an MP5.
Don't see many of those.
He's able to get it to work in range. There's no way, Nathan. That's not allowed. And Volder finishes off Chris. That's 6 on the board for OG.
The MP5 at 100 meters. It's a world record. MBK, congratulations. Guinness are on the line right now. They're rising up the certificate. I've never seen anything like it. A double kill in a key round as well. I think he assumed he'd be up against a lot less there, but a full gun round, it works out for him. And we will see MouseSports, after going for that retake, will be compromised, to say the very least, going to round number 9 here. A scout, CZ's, Deagles, but these rounds are always dangerous, chat. Like, no round is safe.
Have they had a full gun round in the last
Not really, no.
3 rounds? It's all just been these weird kind of missed partial buys.
They won the pistol MouseSports, so they've had a single run since then. Lots of close ones, to be fair. Doesn't tell the full story. But yeah, rough time on the CT side.
Okay, so just with a couple of pistols on board and a scout, this one here seems extremely unlikely. And I want to paint the picture for everybody at home as to why. OG are not playing the loosey-goosey pug-style Counter-Strike that we just saw in the Na'Vi vs FaZe Clan game. They are playing methodical. They are just playing this as if it's MR15 with 3 less rounds. They're taking their time, they're milking the clock, they're being very, very diligent with their utility, and they're not rushing anything. So right now, MouseSports have had 3 rounds in a row where normally, in this version of Counter-Strike, that maybe they'd pull off 1, and that would help them tip back the scales a little bit. But here, because OG have battened them down every single time, they've been able to build, you know, a huge haul of rounds. There's no bank to go with it, but the rounds is all that matters right here, and we're over the halfway mark as Issa opens things up onto Frozen. So this is looking great.
It really is, but Rops does pull one back. He's a bit of a demon with the old scout there. It's Carrigan. He's having a rough time out there. That sparred treatment, he might be relaxed, but 1-8. He's going to be stressed out on the server right now. And we'll see a 4-on-2 scenario. It is an eco round, bear in mind, but still not looking good for MouseSports. Peter 50 and a Deagle. Good chance of getting the kill towards Mantu. He was low. Rops did most of the damage there, but poor old Voxic, just a Desert Eagle now. And will he even have the orb next round? He should do. Maximum loss bonus and a lovely shot there as well. I guess there's a chance he wins this. Very little, about 5%, I would say. And down he goes. Valdo will get him. And 7k. They're double orb setup for sure, Chad. Like, I'm calling it.
Yeah, you would hope to see it.
Has to be. Chris J, Voxy, get the double orbs out. Let's go. Mix it up. Go for a bit of a change of pace. Come on, Chris. Don't get the Deagle.
Don't do this to me. Do it, Chris. Oh, Carrigan has an orb.
Okay. He's 1-8 right now. He might as well, right?
Yeah.
Plan C, I'd imagine him getting out.
Well, he can just orb like B apartments or something along those lines, and they can leave him there.
Which is fine. Not disrespecting Carrigan in any sense. Lots of AWPers will have this and they can't find any form. They'll go to a rifle, for example. Sometimes you have to. And it's a good change, and hopefully he can step up here.
Well, they did throw some early flashes over towards the B site, and that's where he is. So there's 3 players right now. Do they want to set Carrigan up? It looks like it. That means 2 players will push over towards the catwalk position, but meanwhile, Issa, he's taken all the liberties in the world. He's walked out a ramp. He hasn't seen anybody, he hasn't had to fight anybody, and they haven't seen him either. So this extra territory, if any shots come in from the A bomb site towards middle, he can pounce with knowledge, and they won't have any clue. So this is great stuff from Issa here. Oh! The timing.
It was building up nicely, Chad. If he gets that kill, your statement there would have been beautiful. Would have been a whole thing.
That sucks.
It was a great effort. Unfortunately, a lovely shot from Voxic does take him down. The old teammates clashing horns once again. And we get into a 5-4 must-win rounds here for MouseSports. Like every last of these 3 have to go in their favour. We'll see Chris J aggressive. That's a lovely spot. Should be guaranteed a kill here unless for some reason they flash it. They're making a lot of noise. He's getting all the intel, but they're going towards Palace. Now, does he swing off this?
Oh, he's going behind them as well. So if he clears towards T-spawn and sees that nobody else home, this is a lot of information. And they've even had the early warning system of the vent not broken. So Chris, he's going to be behind them. Mantu might find him in transition here. This is all down to timing. Mantu's seen him. He's called it. Chris has no idea.
He can't find the shot, but yes, they can wait for him now. But 20 seconds, does Chris commit? He's dead, but now they're going to have to go. They know the A ramp should be open at this stage, but Voxic, oof, this could be deadly. So what is that? Flash lands on top of the roof, and the first kill is fantastic for Voxic. The second, not so much. Bomb goes down, and that should be the round. We'll see if Frozen can pull it one back. AFC could do this one. Valda struggling now with 8 seconds remaining. That's the bomb in a compromised position, and that should be it. 4 seconds. He can't plant it to 1 versus 1, and Carrigan, he won't have to find any kills this round, but still he will win out. It's going to be the 3rd for MouseSports, right down to the wire there, but they do enough. I didn't think they stood a chance there.
Yeah, they can get beaten right down here, though, because OGs, look, they've lost a round. Their loss bonus has gone all the way down to the 1400, so their economy's not fantastic. But on the T side, you get to dictate the pace of the game. You get to decide, are we going fast? Are we going slow? What do we have? Where do we want to target here? If they can just get into a bomb site, get the bomb down, and have some equal trades, they could be on for this, and they could force MouseSports into a horrible position once more. We only have 2 rounds left in this half. If they're able to steal this one away, Mouse are screwed.
Yeah, that's a very good point. This has got a lot attached to it. You can see Mac 10s are coming out here. Not the perfect setup for OG, but there are 3 players without helmets, chat. So that could be something to write home about. Time will tell. It's a 5-man B setup. Flash is going in. It's normally Carrigan on this side of the map, so we'll see if he can step up. He takes a flash to the face. The Mac 10s are close, and down he goes. One of the players without the helmets there, and this is looking very good for OG.
Wait, Woxic's still close with the AWP? What's going on here?
Surely not for long. Yeah, there he is. Taken out, and that's going to be a lovely play. The Mac 10s and Carrigan having that difficult game. He's 2-9. Like, historically, he has been bullied towards this side of the map, but you've got the Mac 10s up there. Good flashbang to get him through and taken down with the Mac 10. And that's the running gun potential of that weapon, Chad. We always talk about the Mac 10. I think it's been underrated. We've really seen its full potential in 2020. Not sure if you agree with that statement, but I really feel like it's been a massive part of CSGO this year.
Yeah, I think the MP9 and the Mac 10, they've obviously been used a lot, but now it's the way that teams are using them, right? It's not just because, oh, I've got no money left. It's in certain situations. Crystal from Godsend is a great example. When he knows he's entering top banana, he's going to go for the Mac 10, you know? And that's because he can be more nimble. He can jump around a little bit more. But I just want to highlight as well, Chris J might get a kill here. Nothing too crazy. But that execute, it's not, you won't see most teams do that, right? You won't see the kitchen smoke with the window smoke and then the 2 pillar smokes. Normally, that's 4 smokes right there, right? And that's an all-in execute. You have to be able to condition your opponent. But OG, they don't always have to throw the mid-contact smokes, right? That's something that they're only doing sometimes. And if you do that, it allows you to go for those type of plays. You can keep a few smokes in the back pocket, and with that execute, you isolate everywhere, right? You to rotate in, you saw Woxy get to push through smokes from kitchen, and now there's a wall separating him and his teammates from being able to help. All 3 players stuck on the site, the Mac 10 up close and personal, shoving that down their throat as we're about to see the Lexi B here, and it's beautiful scenes. This is the type of Counter-Strike I love.
Yeah, me too. That was a really nice creative round there. Compromised circumstances, they make it work. And he said if OG picked that round up, MouseSports are in a lot of trouble. You can see that reflected right now in the buy. Deagles, MP9s, for masses, and barely any utility. But to be fair, it's enough to win a round. Like, it's not as disastrous as I thought it might be. And we're looking likely to see the A execution here from OG. They've got themselves 4 players outside the A bomb side, just Valda towards middle, patrolling the flanks, making sure they can't be backstabbed from the B apartments or towards middle, of course. And Isra is falling back, so don't expect any early commitment here. They can potentially go for the splits. And I still feel like MouseSports have a fighting chance here.
There's always a chance, Henry. You know that. It's CSGO in 2020. Valda says no in the very early stages. And unfortunately for Mouse, it looks like they're about to find themselves 9-3 down within the first half here. A couple more flashes over towards middle just to keep them interested. But it is back towards A they go once more.
Yeah. Well, that's something, though. They've got a 3-man stack at least towards A. It's just 1 player towards B, Carrigan. So, sure, they don't have the weaponry or the utility to really hold them off, but they have got the individual skill. It's really going to have to shine brightly here. Molotov down towards the sandwich position. Alexi B takes a bite, and for now, Chris J. Molotov coming in. It might not reach him, I suppose, but there it is. He goes down. Alexi B will follow suit, and we have 1 more player towards A. That's going to be poor old Frozen. Stuck in the corner towards jungle. He will find Valda, but surely the bomb goes down. 4-on-2. I don't see a world where MouseSports can really do much more than a couple of kills there.
Yeah, they should get mopped up here without too much to say about this. And there's the first Alexi B onto his counterpart. Carrigan, the in-game leader, and MouseSports falls. Frozen, kind of padding the stats there the best he can, but he's going to drop on out, and that's going to be the 9-3 first half. OG yesterday were able to topple Fnatic. It was quite the affair. The first half, similar scenes to what we saw just here against MouseSports. I tuned on in to watch Fnatic struggling to deal with a lot of the set pieces of OG in a similar fashion. So, like I said, OG, they're not playing a puggier, looser, faster style. They are just playing Counter-Strike as they normally would, and they're making it look good.
Now, Chad, like, we've watched a lot of MouseSports this year. It's not looking good, right? And the stats speak for themselves. Certain players dropping off significantly. The team, sure, they're taking breaks, they're rebuilding, but our alarm bell is going off right now with these kind of catastrophic results. DreamHack, that's got to be a wake-up call for them.
Yeah, I think one of the bonuses that this team probably has, and probably